This is 1 Week Rental, the summer of Nolan, and we are covering Inception in this episode. First, we go through the history of Inception. Christopher Nolan came up with this idea when he was a wee little lad at college. What if there were dream thieves? And then like 30 years later, they made it into a movie. And we tell you the story of how that movie was made and then answer some big philosophical questions. What does it mean to be a person? How can you discern reality? And how do we interpret art? We'll definitively answer all of those questions and then get into the movie itself, review it, discuss it, analyze it. If that's the only thing you're interested in, skip to the timestamp that you're seeing on your screen right now and enjoy Laci and I diving deep into Inception.
I'm trapped in space, or in a dream, or in a hole. I can't do anything. My wife is dead. It wasn't me. I'm on a beach, and I can't ever leave. I built a bomb, a Batman bomb. What have I done? Turns out the bomb is me. Soaking up the sun with Christopher. Enjoying surfing sand with Christopher. Licking up our time with my friend Christopher. Nolan, it's Christopher.
Hello and welcome to 1 Week Rental, a movie podcast where we spend the week with a movie and we take you along on the journey and tell you everything we've learned about the movie. And it's the summer of Nolan, so we're doing Inception today. I am Matt Stokes.
And I'm Laci Roth.
Inception, the fifth entry in our Summer of Nolan miniseries, and we're only doing 9 movies, so that means we're past halfway. I'm starting to feel the blues.
Oh.
Gonna miss Christopher Nolan when he's gone.
I woke up really excited today because we were going to talk about The Dark Knight, and then I realized I was dreaming and we're talking about Inception instead, and then I got sad.
Is that true?
No, but I you know how when we have a really good time with one movie and then I'll come to do the podcast the next week and I'll be like, I can't wait to talk about that movie again. And then it's the one that we already did. Yeah. I've done that like 3 times.
No, we spent 3.5 hours talking about The Dark Knight. All of that is
I still
gone.
have more.
It is just erased. I know, me too. I had all this stuff I wanted to say that's probably so boring.
Well, re-listening to it all, it makes me, I miss this, and then I'll just learn this from my own self.
That's why we have a Patreon, everybody. Patreon.com/1 week rental. Laci's never on, and everybody start hectoring her to get on it because people don't want to just get me. They want both of us. For example, The Odyssey comes out this week. This is the week of The Odyssey.
I'll watch it. We'll talk. We'll talk off camera.
When this podcast, Inception podcast, comes out, it will be the day of release for The Odyssey. I made a video on TikTok and Twitter. I didn't post it everywhere. I posted it in a few places where I'm like, wow, I got a exclusive sneak peek footage of the scene from The Odyssey and I'm going to react to it live. And I'm playing it and talk about how it's groundbreaking and everything. And then I play footage from Wishbone from BBS. They did an episode about The Odyssey. And I thought, this is the most benign joke of all time. And a guy on Twitter called me an incel. Said,
what?
Incel alert, have fun seeing Moana with your mama this week while I see The Odyssey 3 times in theaters.
Spoiler alert, incels hate their mothers and Moana.
And my wife and I have had sex.
So hard.
At least once. We have one child.
Mm-hmm.
We have one child.
Ooh, I don't know what I'm saying. I was thinking about God damn it.
So the way this works is we spend a week watching a movie, obsessing over it, watching it multiple times, reading all about it, and then we tell you all about it first in a history segment, then in a movie review segment. And for the summer, we're doing just Christopher Nolan movies. After this, we got The Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, Tenet, and Oppenheimer. And on the Patreon, we'll be doing Dunkirk, and we'll talk about The Odyssey in some way.
If I'm going to watch it, we're going to talk about it. Even if it's when we're leaving the theater, when you hate talking to me about things.
I really hate that.
Why? Because you need time to process?
Because you're mean after a movie. You're mean. I have to say the right thing or else you'll yell at me.
I'm riled up. I'm passionate. I'm not mean.
And it manifests as you being mean to me.
No, you get so nervous that because you have a different opinion sometimes and you think I'm going to be mean, but we're just
because I'm traumatized after 15 years of you fucking digging into me after a movie.
Just admit that you haven't processed it yet and it's just not the right time for you to talk about it.
Well, that too.
So say that. Don't make it all me.
I've always had a little bit of embarrassment if people hear me me or anybody talking about a movie coming out of a movie theater.
That we go the back way. We go. No one's listening to us. I do not talk about movies that we just came out of the theater if we are going through the lobby. I think that's fucking rude, and you're going to spoil something for someone. I don't do that. I talk about it the back way, and you know that I get that. That's when I'm going to have the most like.
Yeah, so I let you go off. And
you fucking hide from me, and you're a little quiet little puss baby, and that makes me mad. And then I'm feeling sad that you won't talk to me about movies when that's like our thing. Feeling sad. Yeah. Talk about movies.
Speaking of seeing movies in theaters, did you see Inception in theaters? Why even ask Laci if she remembers? None of your fucking business.
I probably did. It was a big deal movie.
This is your first time ever joining us. Laci has the Guy Pearson memento thing where memories get deleted 10 minutes after they form in her head.
It was a big deal movie. I've never been in a relationship where I didn't go see movies with the person I was with. So if we were going to see a movie, it would be one with Buzz.
And you know what?
What else would have been coming out on the same time there?
The Town starring Ben Affleck.
Didn't see it. Never seen it.
Let's see. Oh, Toy Story 3. That was the big movie of the summer.
Wouldn't have gone and saw that.
That was the summer you and I met each other at work.
I probably went and saw it with like nieces and nephews or something.
And my first day at our work, I had just seen Toy Story 3 the previous day, and I talked to some attorneys at that office, and they said, "What'd you think of it?" And I said, "It was okay."
Cool.
Yeah, that's the story. Yep. So I anyway, recall watching this with you at least once.
How did I feel, Matt?
I don't know. Not good.
And yet I gave it 5 stars on my Letterboxd because it's one of those movies where I went to Letterboxd it yesterday right after having watched it again and was like, oh, I've already done this. And I gave it 5 stars. That's now
the previous time.
That's now a 3.5.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So I know I keep harping on this, but I still feel this way that Nolan movies can be put into 2 buckets: movies that make stupid people feel smart and movies that are stupid for smart people. And The Dark Knight is absolutely a stupid movie for smart people. So is The Prestige. And I would say Inception goes into the I believe I'm intellectual after having seen this thought piece.
Why
category.
do you think that? I mean,
it's a bunch of homework. It's a pay attention to the ball. Where's the ball? Where's the spinny thing? You're you're paying attention. Did you follow that? Huh? Are you in a dream? Huh? Did you go, who's getting put to sleep now? You paying attention? And at the end, it's like, fuck you.
Yeah,
who cares?
So here's
Sopranos ending. Everything's a dream. Fucking cop out. Splooge in my face without asking.
All right, well, that's insane. But this is like this really is a divisive thing, and Disclosure Day by Steven Spielberg earlier this summer really points it out. Is there are people who are so turned off by an ending that's like abrupt and it leaves you with a huh. Or and people hate ambiguity, and people hated it at the end of The Sopranos.
God, but that's not true. I feel like, and I wish I had examples, and a smarter person would have brought those to the table right now. But like, I really like an ending where it's like, whoa, huh? Sometimes. But this one was this movie had so many emotional moments and like moments to close out things and goodbye, dear friend, and this was really important. I can't believe I went on this journey with you and I have to say goodbye to you, and then I'm finally going to see my family, and then it's like, and then it was a crygasm.
So your objection is that we didn't get to go outside in his backyard and look at his kids.
Oh no, I hated the way their faces looked. No,
stupid kids.
My issue is that it feels like nothing got resolved in this movie, and maybe that's the point. Fine, but the Matrix is a great example of like a highly complex idea that explores the mind and reality and leaves you feeling like quenched, yes, done. And I don't feel like it was like a stupid pat ending. This one just feels like he cut too soon, because he does that all the time anyway. And like, I don't even know that he made his mind up as to whether this is a happy resolution. I think I'd have to watch it 6 more times. And I keep saying that about the movies that are dumb for dumb people.
All right, well, hold on. Just because people are going to be screaming in the middle of what you're saying.
I don't want them to do that.
I mean, he was very, very deliberate about when he cut with the spinning. You're talking about the spinning top and the way it starts to wobble, then stabilizes. And he said he and his editor were tormented about when are we going to cut, because we could show it start to wobble again. This is the perfect place, and it is the author of the work saying the story is over. make your own determination about what it means. We've talked about Nolan movies being, I think, incorrectly read as puzzles, but he does invite that. And this is the most puzzly movie, I think, because it's the one with, at the very end of the movie, the sort of multiple choice question, and your answer to that question determines what you think the movie is actually about.
So,
which the three answers are: the top topples over, he's not in a dream. The top stays spinning, he's in a dream. Or the top could topple over and that still doesn't give you an answer one way or the other.
Tell me that one again. The top topples over and he's in someone else's, he's not in his own?
So the way they explain totems working is it will tell you whether you're in someone else's dream. It can't tell you whether you're in your own dream. And importantly, no one else can know how the totem works, but that's his wife's totem. So she knows how it works. So she could also still be in his wife's dream. And the whole thing about totems could just be a totally made up thing in the dream that he's having. That's he's writing as you're watching it.
Also, where did I come up with a bouncing ball? Why did I think a ball was in this movie?
That's in The Prestige.
No, I know that, but was it The Matrix? Where like a ball goes by and it makes someone realize they're having a glitch.
No, that was a black cat in The Matrix.
Damn it, there's a
Deja vu. What did you say?
No, yeah. No, I remember that. God damn. Maybe I really did. I Mandela the ball.
Now, in terms of it being a puzzle to solve, I think that unfortunately there's a way that's interesting, an interesting way to engage with this movie, and then the uninteresting way. And I think, no offense to all the YouTubers out there, most YouTube content is like definitively explained Inception ending, and it looks at clues inside the movie. And we talked to a physicist who explained that the spinning top could not.
Ugh, gross.
And none of that's what interests me. The point of this movie is the uncertainty that we all have to live with. That as a question as old as philosophy is, how do I know that what I perceive as reality is real? How do I know I'm real? How do I know I'm not being controlled by a demon? How do I know I'm not in a simulation? How do I know I'm not severed?
And at the end of the day, if your experience at that moment is like satisfying and you're content, you don't feel the need to know.
Yeah. The point of his character arc is the top is spinning and he abandons it. Now he doesn't care anymore. And he, through Ariadne, was given the tools to confront his wife and finally let her go. And so he can stop living in this fiction that he's built for himself. He might be going on to another fiction, but it was resolution on that story. And I find the last like 10 minutes of the movie so emotionally moving that's really why I love the movie. I saw this movie a handful of times thinking this is an annoying movie that has so much interesting stuff going on that I kept going back to it.
Yeah.
And eventually it clicked for me, and this happens with a bunch of Nolan movies, and it's the most obvious take in the world is, oh, the whole movie's a dream. That's why everything seems so weird. That's why things like things that take place in the real world of the movie feel random and disjointed. It's because it's also a dream.
And his wife points that out, and that's the most persuasive thing. They do such a good job of making her seem like such a villain, and they give her so many scary moments, even though there's nothing really to be scared of. But he's terrified of her. But the whole point of like, you start every dream in the middle, you're not sure how you got there. I mean, yeah, they absolutely start the movie that way.
And that's what,
and him going to Kabul, like, and then there's some Kabul.
Yeah, Cobalt engineering. It sounds so.
No, but he goes Cambodia. He goes somewhere like
Mombasa.
Mombasa, right? He can't go to the stateside, but the father-in-law is stateside.
No, he's in Paris, but then he goes to the United States.
So who are the kids with?
The grandmother, presumably Michael Caine's French wife named Marie.
Yeah, damn it. That's on me. I needed to watch this a couple more times, and I still don't know how I feel about a movie where you need to watch it more than once. I'm going to feel a little cheated and like it's a bit of a time suck, and I'm not positive it deserves the attention it's taking from me.
I agree with you that like a movie shouldn't require you multiple viewings to appreciate it. But with these Nolan movies, every time I watch it for the first time, I'm engaged and think this is so interesting and I want to go back.
Yes, that's true. That's true. He's doing something.
But what annoyed me is we finished the movie. You immediately get on a phone call with your friend who says, "How'd you like Inception?" And you're like, "I don't know." And I was like, "That's bullshit," because
I already letterboxed it. You could just go read that, man.
But you gave it 3.5 stars, which we have agreed is the most non-committal rating. And I think we should commit to never be rating anything 3.5 stars.
Then you have to erase almost every fucking rating you've ever given. You non-committal sack of shit.
I'm like, Cobb, you should not do as I say, or do as I. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And plus his name is Dom Cobb. That's fake. Come on. No one else has a last name or a first name. This girl's name is Ariadne, the figure from Greek mythology who guides Theseus through the maze.
Stop.
But so then there are people who say the whole movie's a dream, and what it actually is Michael Caine or Marianne Cotillard trying to do Inception to Leo to get him out of the dream. And I find that that's a little interesting, but that's where I think that now you're digging too deep. And I know I'm just talking about like my own specific way I want to read a movie. But what was I saying? Oh, but so it was watching it multiple times. And then I realized that the things that were putting me off about the movie, I think are by design, or if they're not by design, they're at least effective. The weird editing, the weird plot decisions, the things that seem to contradict each other about the rules of this universe, the way things seem like they're being made up on the spot. Oh, Limbo. What's Limbo? Unconstructed dream space. That seems like something that a dreamer is just making up as he has the dream.
Sure, but it's the beach. And Limbo for some reason is his limbo for everybody.
Yeah.
Why?
I know.
How do they decide whose dream they're in? It has to be someone who's in charge of making sure they're all asleep and wake up and kick and all that fucking shit. I got that. But like, they don't bother telling us whose dream they're in the whole time.
They
do it as they go. But so it's like a dream heist movie, but like usually in a heist, but they did the thing where they gather the team, and I love that. I will always love that. But they didn't do the thing where they tell us the plan, and not really. So all the layers get all the more confusing, and I lose track of how many layers we're in, because I think we're only meant to go down 3, but they go down 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just talk through why he did this. What I'm amazed with is that this was his idea. This isn't from a book. That's fucking cool. That he thought about originally being a dream thief is fucking stupid. But let's see you dazzle me. Let's dive in, my love, my dearest baby boy.
The history segment now we shall go to. But first, if you are listening on the podcast, go subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can get bonus content such as my video about Fantasia 2000 and how it's the Trump's ballroom of Disney movies. $100 million spent to make one old executive happy and kind of be a busy box so he'll leave everybody else alone. He can go.
It's the cash register on Home Alone 2.
Yes, for Mr. Duncan.
It's his fake cash. What can I do? Break a 5? Come on up. Touch a dove.
Go ahead and check out our Home Alone 2 episode where Laci points out it seems like the real cash register is over on the other side of the store.
The ones that are run on electricity.
Yeah. And he's just boring kids about
a precocious child will go up to this person that's clearly not working at all and is in his twilight because they won't know any different.
And Kevin McAllister is just the first annoying child to like engage with him.
Unaccompanied minors are going to go in this line because to a kid, this looks like a man who's going to check you out at a toy store. Or for adults, we're looking for the beeps, the flashing lights, the people who are in a hurry, and not selling doves.
So
stupid.
Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe to our Patreon, subscribe, like, comment, all of that stuff. Thank you so much. Let's get into the history of Inception now. Christopher Nolan's most autobiographical movie. That's what I told you before we started watching.
Oh, even the fucking pinwheel. Okay, I'm looking at a photo and you aren't. There's a picture right now of Christopher Nolan with his son or daughter sitting on his lap, and they are blowing on a pinwheel.
Yep. And then this picture, I think, taken 8 years before the movie was made of him and his wife doing the train track. Fun on the train tracks. Go try this, everybody. Go lay down on a train track.
That'll give me a migraine.
With your head on the track.
They were trying to make their heads a penny. Mm-hmm. That's not how that works.
That's how that works at the train station.
Just a penny head for the rest of your life.
I meant to ask you. We're halfway through. I meant to ask this minute 2 of the podcast. Where are you standing on Nolan, or do you feel? What do you feel like you understand about him at this point?
I feel like he is very much working out one part, he is Leo. It keeps going back to his dream space. His dream space are the movies he makes. He just keeps going back to the same well over and over and over again until he can like undo his guilt around separation from his family. It might be one level deeper and be separation that he had as a boy from his family. Like, you know, but he is working something out and yet keeps coming out the other end the same person, and maybe can't accept that people love him for that anyway. Like just leave it.
Yeah, but what if I stopped making all these giant blockbusters? You'd still love me? And the answer is yes, but he couldn't accept that.
I don't know that he cares that they're blockbusters. I think he's still working through some shit. Otherwise, how is he turning movies that aren't even his ideas into his fucking plot anyway? Like, where did Interstellar come from? That idea
originated with, I don't remember if it originated with his brother or it was somebody else, and then they took it over. But I mean, that is totally like his idea from the ground up. It just might have started like how Memento started with his brother having an idea and then Chris being like, oh, I'll take that for myself.
I think it is a rare talent that has this many different enough sci-fi ideas in him. That's amazing. He's no prestige magician. He has plenty of illusions, and that's impressive. And he's not shy to go to his brother and like dig in there. He's not a dream stealer the way maybe someone like Stanley Kubrick is, who
stealing dreams,
who will mind
by adapting other things.
No. Who is on the record by Steven Spielberg as saying, we'll just call you and talk to you for hours over and over and over again, just like ruminating on your ideas until he's done with you, or he finally uses you for a project. That, you know, if he's doing that to fucking Spielberg, he's doing that to everyone who will take his call. He is a dream stealer.
I wouldn't characterize it like that, but okay.
Okay, well, whatever. He's Kubrick. He can get things made, and you're Spielberg or someone lesser than that who's like, you want to talk to me? Yeah, let's talk. Tell me he can't steal your fucking shit. But my point is, Nolan is a deep well, and even if it's a simplistic idea, it is an eternal struggle. So there's always something full of heart. There's moments where you will tear up probably in most of his movies. So he's got something. I just think he has an editing issue. And sometimes there's too much on the screen, and sometimes there's not enough of it, and sometimes he doesn't know where to cut it off. And but I still rather a guy like this that has such a signature. And we'll say this every time. An auteur director, they're just few and far between. And when he's dead, I'll miss his movies.
He says in the Schoen book, I think he said before he made Dunkirk, he proposed to his wife, what if we just don't have a screenplay for this movie? Because he writes his own movies. Not all directors do that. And his wife said, that's insane. And he's like, no, but like, I know what to do. Do we really need a script? And she's like, I'm the producer. I'm telling you, we need a script. But it sort of was like, he was almost saying, I wish I was one of these directors who didn't need to write his own movies, because that would speed things up. He takes a year and a half to write these screenplays, and he just is he's unwilling to give that part up.
Like literally sit down and go character name, interior. You say this, and then with a sad look on his face, like that whole that very like the tedious. That's a screenplay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I thought that was called a script, but like
same thing.
Okay. Wow. That anyone could sit down. I don't think I could do a screenplay about you and me talking for 10 minutes. It's excruciating, and it's amazing how wrong you can be in thinking that this is the expression a character should have in this moment because it makes sense in the way you wrote it. And then you go to shoot it, you find out there's better chemistry or it makes more sense for a character to do this instead, but you already shot the reaction to the fuck. This is why I can never go into a movie set again. I think I know things. I'm going to get way too in the weeds and not be able to explain what I'm saying. But movies are miracles. And I can understand him wanting to skip this step after having already written the fucking thing.
For a long time, directors didn't write movies. Those were separate jobs. I think this is, I'm going to really generalize here. In the new Hollywood era, directors sort of rise or are recognized. You're the primary author of the movie. Start writing their own movies. Francis Ford Coppola writes his own movies. And in George Lucas's biography, Francis Ford Coppola was his mentor, and he said, George, you have to write your own movies. You can't, you're not serious if you don't. And George hated writing movies, but they're like, okay, I guess I will.
And then the boy had a special talent, but he was sad.
So I think there is a lot of directors who have the attachment. I need to also write. I need this movie to end and it say written and directed by Christopher Nolan.
Quentin Tarantino made that a must, right? He really gets the most juice out of that.
Or James Cameron, written, produced, and directed by James Cameron.
Yikes. Yes, business daddy.
So I think that this is the most autobiographical of his movies in that I think you have the most of him in it and working out this thing where he seems somebody who's feels like the movies he makes and the movies he watches are more real than his real life, even as he loves his family so much. But maybe, and I'm going to read some stuff that he says, where I get the sense that he can kind of only process things by thinking of them in terms of movies or just images or specific memories. And that's why the DiCaprio character is like, these are moments that I need to change and regret. And I think a thing you and I have talked about going through therapy, just living our lives, is you realize these things like moments,
they will
big
ruin
conversations. I think that to a storyteller, it's like the most important moment is the moment where I failed to say goodbye. Now, in reality, your kids are not sad that you didn't say goodbye. It's that you're not there anymore.
Right.
So even if you'd had a grand goodbye, it wouldn't make it any better.
Right. Even if every day you leave and I go, I hope you die in your car, that won't be the most I'll never stop thinking about it probably, but that's not really what matters.
So in the book, in the shown book, he has this quote early on. He says, I feel like, quote, I feel more of a craftsman than an artist, end quote. I think people who criticize Nolan, the film critics who criticize him, would say that exact thing. You're not an artist, or you don't have anything to say. Your movies are impressive technical achievements, but I can't sense that there's a real person behind there who has something to say. And I disagree with that, but I think it's interesting that he straight up just owns that I'm a craftsman. I'm not an artist. And he compares himself, or he loves David Lynch. Mm-hmm. And I always group him and David Lynch together because they're like the exact opposites, the thesis and the antithesis. Mm-hmm. David Lynch being the like pure artist, expressionistic movies. He's the man who makes movies that feel like dreams.
Yep.
And then Inception, a movie about dreams where the dreams feel way too literal and people criticize that. These dreams don't feel surreal at all.
But I get his point, and I think that's interesting. None of us feel like we're in a surreal dream when we're dreaming. It feels like the most real thing, and yet we can't reconstruct it. And all we can say is, it was weird. And even if that reality was super weird, like for whatever reason we have to drive in Jell-O and we're not allowed to wear shirts, in that moment, that is just what real is. And that's like, it's like when you leave the dream, you're like, I wonder why that. Mm-hmm. I wonder why I was doing that. But it seemed like I needed to be doing that. And I am a person who can remember my dreams for days. They get gradually harder to remember, but there'll be points that I can remember for days. And I'm still thinking of one that I had 3 weeks ago. But I never wake up and haven't had a night full of dreams, and it's exhausting.
The dreams are, if you dream, you're having restful sleep.
Yeah, but people who can, that's your head getting out garbage and throwing it away. That's me staring at my garbage and remembering it. I think I'm processing and not giving myself enough privacy to do so.
Maybe you need a CPAP. Maybe that's all it is.
I know there's a reason. I don't know. I'm not a deep enough sleeper.
Mm-hmm. That CPAP will knock you right. That's the one thing missing from the movie. Nobody's wearing a CPAP.
Okay.
Get to that deep level. Get to limbo.
You think it's anesthesia in that CPAP, not just air?
I think it's literally just air, just pushing some air into your nose holes. I think that CPAPs, it might be that thing like, I think everybody might actually need CPAPs. I'm
not going to disagree with you, but I think a ton of people have not diagnosed their sleep apnea.
Yeah, it might be the just thing that to disprove intelligent design, where our bodies are stupid and we're not supposed to, like, when we sleep, we're killing ourselves. Right. So we need a little device to push air into our nose. Anyway, there are certainly the filmmakers who sort of can only process things through movies, and the only thing it seems like they have anything to say about is movies.
He agrees with his critics.
But he seems, and I'm responding to the Tom Schoen book, which I'm working my way through. He also seems to understand about himself that the movies he makes and the movies he watches feel more real than his real life does. And that doesn't mean he doesn't love his wife and his kids in his real life. And so this movie about a guy who you can easily see as a movie director making a movie as a way to understand his own life better and sort of break out of the labyrinth of his mind. I find that kind of moving. And in the final stretch, when he wakes up in the airplane and then gets off the plane, it really does seem like he's ascending to heaven. And I'm not saying he's literally going to heaven. He's dead. I'm saying it is filmed like he's passing all the people he knew in his life.
You're right.
The angel Michael Caine meets him and greets him to take him up to Mount Heaven Olympus.
And it's ethereal looking, like the lights are shining through. They are the exact age that they were when he thought he last saw them. That's a big tell to me.
They're older. The visions that look a lot like stock footage you've been seeing the whole movie are different kids. They're now older, and they're credited as they're credited for different actors at different ages.
Okay, but they don't seem old enough. Like that's the thing, right? It plays with time, and if he's in a dream the whole time, then it's a lot shorter of a period of time has gone by at the top level, which we may have never actually experienced yet.
Right.
So. Okay, but he feels like and he's an old man, right? He's already lived an entire life without them. So yeah, I guess he does feel like he's been away for a long time, because he has.
So during the production of The Dark Knight, his wife, Emma, who again is his business partner, his producing partner, his right-hand woman, becomes pregnant with their fourth child, Magnus. So she leaves. The kids who were on set with them go home to England for the final 2 months of that movie's production. He said it was the longest he had ever been away from them. And he said, quote, "I remember thinking, I know it's more fun when we're all together and we can do the thing together. That's why we keep it as a family business. We were learning how to balance those things. I think that's the experience that crystallized that aspect of Inception. The call that Cobb has to his kids, trying to talk to them on the phone, the sandcastles on the beach," end quote.
When did he have that experience? I'm sorry.
2007, when he's nearing the end of production on The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, okay.
But he'd had this idea for Inception all the way back as a student at uni. And it first started as dream thieves. You can, what if you could go and steal an idea in someone's dream? And I know that sounds, you were making fun of it, but whenever I really think about it, I think that's really neat.
Wait, steal an idea, sure, but not steal someone's dreams. That's dumb.
I don't think it was ever meant I steal your dreams. It's we are thieves who operate in dreams.
Fine. The concept of having something you're hiding and locked away in a dream, that's interesting, but that's not the same thing. But okay, got it. Sorry.
And very early on, he had the idea of music in the real world will penetrate into the dreams. That'll affect the plot somehow. That
really happens in real life too.
And then he claims that the TV show Freddy's Nightmares, the short-lived anthology TV series based on Nightmare on Elm Street, where every episode is introduced by Freddy Krueger, characters would frequently wake up from a dream and then be in another dream. And he said that inspired him too.
How?
just think that's where he got the inspiration from. But in college, he claims to have been able to lucid dream because he would stay awake very late at night, drinking probably tea with his friends. Then he'd go to bed and then wake up at 9 a.m. for breakfast because his breakfast was already paid for. Then he'd go back to sleep and sleep till the afternoon. And he said in that inter period between morning and afternoon, that's when he'd be like half asleep, half awake and have these very vivid dreams that he could control.
I do that too.
Really?
All the time.
Where you can control
But it's only the very end, because as soon as you realize you're dreaming, you do wake up out of it slowly, but not before you can do some shit.
Mm-hmm. He says, quote, "I remember lucid dreams where I would see there was a book on the table and I would go and look at the book and I'd be able to read the words and it might even make sense. So you say, okay, I'm writing this book as I'm reading it at the same time." Yep. I found that to be an amazing thing. Film has a relationship to our own dreams that's difficult to articulate, but there's an extrapolation of your experience working things out through your dreams. You're hoping to make connections and find things that are hidden from you while you're living your life or being in the world. I think that's what films do for us. They're very dream-like experiences. End quote. As Sammy Fableman's mom says to him at the beginning of The Fablemans, "Movies are dreams, Sammy." But she's right. Well,
someone's dream.
Before movies, you never saw images. The only other time you would see images that aren't real are in your dreams. And things like editing. And editing is kind of a magic trick. Oh, you can jump ahead in time and I don't have to see you moving from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. That's very dreamlike. But we're so accustomed to seeing that in movies, it doesn't seem weird to us. But he has the question: how do you make an audience care about stuff that's happening in a dream? And that's actually a much bigger and older question. I think it's called the problem of fiction, of like, Why should you care about anything that's happening to fake people? Why should you care about any fictional story?
Because I guess we're all just projecting the projections in our dreams, right? That's a perfect parallel. The only reason any of it ever matters is because we're put in some way inserting ourselves.
Or
and our notions or our our ideas.
Or it reminds you of something, or at a like baser level, it's just like triggering neurological responses. Like, I know I'm not in danger, but I feel fear in this horror movie.
Or it's educating me, or it's solidifying a thought that I've had, or making me feel seen, or making me feel angry.
But one thing you said was like, but if it's all a dream, that was all a fucking dream. And I think a lot of people do have that sort of repulsive, reflexive reaction of like, why should I care if the whole thing was a dream?
Sure.
But movies are always fiction.
No, I know. And I think he is suffering here from much lesser movies and shows using it as a way to get away with doing a very outlandish thing, or like, oh my God, I can't believe they killed off a main character in this show. It was a dream. Zach Morris is alive. Or I'm not saying Saved by the Bell but did it, but I know like Young and the Restless are like different. It's a cheap way of getting a big hit emotionally from your audience that you didn't actually want to like deal with the ramifications of. It's not fair to get to reset. Mm-hmm. It's boring. It's annoying if you don't know what's happening and then you realize it at the end. Like, fuck you. But for a movie, there's no reason to do that because like all the stakes are in this movie, right? So
it's its own thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I love that the top kind of the thing, spinny thing kind of wobbles, and god damn it, I never once questioned why doesn't he have his own, and what was his totem before. If he really had one, and if totems matter, we should at least know what he had before he had hers.
And even the things that they say about totems, it would not be a good totem because it's like it has to be an object that only the person who has it like knows it by the weight and feel. But the way the spinning top behaves is it spins infinitely, and there's no reason for a top to ever spin infinitely.
Right. No one in an architect's dream, no one would be an architect trying to fool you and make your spinning top spin infinitely when they know tops don't do that.
Right.
But I thought it was that it falls a certain way. Just like the dice does, just like
No, the thing is it just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning.
That is stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It's one of those things I could see where people would get annoyed and say, so you're just saying everything that seems like a problem with this movie is actually an asset because it's all in the dream. Everything that seems sloppy about this can be explained that it's all a dream. And I say, yes, that's true.
Well, then you will annoy me, sir. But let's see. Maybe you could still persuade me.
When he saw The Matrix, he said, quote, I think The Matrix for me was very much inspiration for the idea that you could give a virtual experience stakes in the real world, that it might all have an equivalent value, end quote. That it seems like he saw the movie, he's like, oh, fuck, this is how you do it. This is how you can take a very complex concept and make people understand very quickly why they should care about something. Like even if you have the stakes of like you die in The Matrix, you die in the real world, etc. He found it so elegant the way they had done that.
And that's why in my head, this movie is you die in a dream, you die in the real world. So in the very first scene, it's like, no, that's not the case. I'm like, why do we care? What's going on here? But they make you care.
But he says he writes about 80 pages of a script, and it is, he says, more of a horror movie than anything and more of a film noir. Eventually he realizes he needs to structure it as a heist movie. Then he can get all the exposition and explaining, build that into the movie without it seeming clunky. And then once he had that thought, he retooled it, made it less of a horror movie. He says, quote, there's even the shot of him walking through the airport. You see the team, they nod at each other just like they do at the end of Ocean's 11, end quote. So that is him very much blending all the genres of movies he loves. He loves heist movies. He loves Bond movies. And can he use all of that as a way to Trojan horse in his dream thief concept?
Something I kept getting stuck on was how much of an industry is this? How new of an idea is this? Like I have no grasp on that. Mm-hmm. That's the whole effect of jumping in the middle. Like you have this very old man who clearly was his teacher and his father-in-law, and he learned to be an architect, but like an actual one. And then this new field came about, and so he ended up being a natural at that.
I think I have an idea just from watching it so many times, but that is a thing that is frustrating about the movie is you feel like this needs a little bit more explanation instead of just, yeah, that's why the military developed a dream sharing so that you could, I'm sorry, what? The military developed dream sharing? And even simple things like just plugging into the dream thing do you have to go to sleep regularly?
Is it a needle?
Is it an IV?
They never show you.
Do you have to wait to go to sleep normally? Are you always sedated? Or does putting it in immediately just put you to sleep? But he said that the scene with Michael Caine went on so much longer and you got so many of these answers. And he said this brings the whole movie to a standstill. And it said it was when he felt like, oh no, I wasted $200 million. This movie doesn't work.
Okay.
And eventually he and his editor said, let's just get rid of most of that. And just the audience has to keep up. And he said that was what made the movie work. And it is true. You do have to catch up, but you're grateful that the movie doesn't bog you down with even more explanation.
And it is smart that they're clearly selling these services to rich people, which means that this is a technology that's new enough that it hasn't gone down to like your common person. The only time you see a common person doing this dream sharing is in this other foreign land where, you know, there's this chemist and he makes things more affordable maybe. And we don't even know. Those could be the rich people of that town. We don't know. But the two people they interact with in this movie are very rich men. Who they are selling their services or get interviewing to see if they're the right one. So like they're not the only game in town, but it almost seems like a technology that's like it's good enough for a rich person to see why they should need it and train to use it and whatever. But maybe it's still not understood enough that it can get you out of a court case if it seems you might have killed your wife due to it. You know, like it's one of those like, what did I create?
He has a line where he's like, and I wouldn't have been able to explain why she went so mad. And
I
plus
need a whole movie.
She'd filed a letter with our attorney saying, I am first of all, very sane, and number two, scared for my life. Doesn't that itself seems like this is a soap opera or this is something out of a film noir movie. This is fiction. This is not real.
Also, you're in a hotel room so lovely, so large that it has a wraparound window, and she's wrecked the place before you got there for no fucking reason.
That is to stage a crime scene, that we had a giant argument and he threw me out the window.
Oh, God. Okay, see. Watch the movie more than once.
So on casting Leonardo DiCaprio, he told Dan Jolin in Empire in 2010, quote, I absolutely desperately needed him. I'd written Inception as sort of a clever heist movie, and heist movies tend to be deliberately superficial and glamorous. I needed him to bring the thing together, open it up to the audience, and make it a human story. And he's done that extraordinarily well, end quote. What do you think about this DiCaprio performance?
What did DiCaprio just come off of?
Shutter Island, with a very similar plot, a very different movie, but extraordinarily similar thing. So he had done Ridley Scott's Body of Lies, just a boring as shit movie that I just watched. Blood Diamond.
But
okay.
So he's Departed. Already deep into his I'm a serious actor stuff. Okay. The more I watch DiCaprio, the more I feel like there's one DiCaprio. But
what is
there's one mode of him. But I feel like he oscillated nicely between kind of scummy, but very kind, kind of desperate. Like he came off more like a human, like with complex emotions, where sometimes he's a bit like too clever, too witty, too. That disappears later. You get into his career, but I wasn't sure. He looks so young here that I wasn't sure where we were in his career. I was like, oh, is he going to be too quippy?
I think I was thinking about this. I think there's 3 DiCaprios that he's very good in. One is slimy, like Wolf of Wall Street. 2, dumb.
Django.
I'm a dumb guy. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, yeah, Wolf of Wall Street too, but also Killers of the Flower Moon. He's so dumb in that movie.
He's not dumb. He's great. He's desperate.
You didn't see Killers of the Flower Moon?
Oh no, shit, down. Fuck. I meant
Hollywood.
No, I meant One Battle After Another. That's my favorite. I don't even know what to say. He is erratic, drug crazed,
dumb, but
dumb,
addled, and okay. Then The Departed would also fit into this. Is like I'm in over my head.
Desperate. I think that's the
desperate,
word. It's
okay.
desperate. Yeah.
Now this role which I think he'd been trying this of like, I'm just kind of a straightforward, heroic guy. I think this might be the only successful version of that, of him trying to do that.
I don't see him as heroic at all. I see him as a fucking dick who got a lot of people into some shit. But he still has to drive the whole thing. What other heroic movie would you say? What's the other example?
Body of Lies, which I just watched. Blood Diamond. I think in this section of his career, it's maybe trying to play more. And you're when I say normal guy or hero guy,
I know you
it
mean.
gives you a certain idea. But he's like, I'm not putting on an accent. I'm not trying to play stupid. I'm just kind of trying to be a likable like protagonist of a movie.
Yeah.
Quote, from Christopher Nolan said, quote, I started to write it at a time where there was a sort of little subgenre of movies that dealt with the idea of how can you trust the world around you? How can you distinguish reality from an alternative reality? Memento was very much one of those films, but The Matrix was the prime one. I also think Dark City, which came out first, and The 13th Floor, end quote. So he's talking about the early 2000s when he originally wrote the movie. And there was this little boomlet of the world is not real. And he said later he was lucky that he waited so long that ended, and now there was distance between The Matrix and his own movie. The 13th Floor is actually a very good movie. If no one's
Who's the lead in that?
I don't even remember. Some guy. It's a reality is a simulation.
When did Black Mirror come out?
2010.
So same time.
Uh-huh.
So he was catching it on the second wave, which is smart.
Yeah. Production took 6 months over 5 different cities: Tokyo, Paris, Tangier, Los Angeles, and Calgary. $160 million budget. It was a production as big and expensive as The Dark Knight. And he kept saying what gave him the confidence that all of this would work is that people liked Memento. Well, people liked Memento.
Yeah. This is a Memento-ass movie.
And there's so much in common with Memento, especially the way Memento ends with you realize this has all been about people trying to help him, kind of.
And I ended up liking that ending.
Mm-hmm. And my wife tried to help me get out of this prison, of this mind prison I put myself in, and it led to her death. It's crazy how similar those are.
Oh, I'm doing math. I'm fucking mathing over here. Oh, yes. Good comparison.
Now, one of the big criticisms was when the movie came out, it came out to mixed to positive reviews, but not dreamlike enough, people said. A.O. Scott said, quote, Nolan's idea of the mind is too literal, too logical, too rule-bound to allow the full measure of madness, the risk of real confusion, of delirium, of ineffable ambiguity.
That's not understanding a neurodivergent person. That's what that is. If you are inside the mind of a person who is very much about detail and knowing your space, then you dream just like that, probably. That is your reality. Someone like David Lynch, who's a complete creative, he dreams like nothing anyone's ever seen before. It's why his movies are amazing. I think this is the first time it's made me think that I'll bet the dreams of, if it's neurodivergence, then that is exactly when you'd see the difference between how a brain processes information. For instance, our son now loves Google Maps and will just scroll routes and learn routes. And he's mapping the world. It makes him feel safe. He loves knowing exactly where he is and exactly where he wants to go. You telling me he doesn't dream about that shit? I'll bet it's real fucking detailed. So yeah, I think dreams are our own and they reflect the kind of way we think. I'm dyslexic. I probably dream dyslexic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that he's using dreams in this, utilizing them as a tool, whereas I think David Lynch is trying to make a movie that feels like a dream.
Two different things.
And even if you watch Mulholland Drive, my read of that movie is it doesn't have to be a literal dream, but it's sort of a movie version of a dream for one person to process this impossibly complex feeling she has for her girlfriend who she feels betrayed her, and the only way she can process it is by making up two different insane things. One, that I'm a starlet newly arrived in Hollywood, and two, that I hired a hitman to kill her, and both of them are kind of fake. But yeah, I mean, there's a long tradition of surrealist filmmakers. David Denby of The New Yorker said, quote, Nolan is a literal-minded man. Cobb's intracranial adventures aren't like dreams at all. They're like different kinds of action movies jammed together. Buildings explode or collapse. Anonymous goons shoot at the dream makers. Benwell, he's talking about Louis Benwell, the surrealist filmmaker, silently pushed us into reveries and left us alone to enjoy our wonderment. But Nolan is working on so many levels of representation at once that he has to lay in pages of dialogue just to explain what's going on.
I think that, and I don't think that makes him a craftsman, even though he is one. I think that makes him an artist too. I just think it makes him a literal one, and literal art is still art.
Yeah.
Technically beautiful art is still hard to do and is still art.
Yeah, and I think that my read of Inception is like how Mulholland Drive is, I experience what this character experiences. I think Inception is I am experiencing the experience. Sorry to keep saying that word. I'm having the experience of never being able to know, of having to live with the uncertainty that I can tell what's real and what isn't real. And that gives the movie its power to me. And that is why it is not, the point isn't to show dreams that feel like dreams. The point is to feel what this guy feels, which is that I'll never be able to tell what is the real world and what isn't.
I'm getting pissed. Just that someone who could make something technically accurate in a way that a neurotypical person could never even dream of fucking doing. Like going into a room you go into every single day of your life at your house, but then being asked to now build it with your mind and not look at it. Who could do that? Sully. Our kid could fucking do that. Mm-hmm. But someone who's not neurodivergent, who isn't trying to focus on every single little bit of their surroundings so that they feel safe, who takes all that for granted, is going to miss a ton of details. And that's not as cool, even if you can think of something a little more artistic to do.
Well,
I'm pissed. No.
How you evaluate art, it's constantly changing. And I think that things like that probably are being more given more credit than they would have at one time. Read movie reviews from movies from 50 or 60 years ago, and you'll see like, boy, they seem to value things differently than we value now. And these things are always going to be changing.
Fine. Then I'm not so mad anymore. I'll calm down.
But this movie was an enormous hit, made $1 billion worldwide. I think it's like The Dark Knight was huge, but it's a Batman movie. Mm-hmm. Okay, but Inception's huge. Nolan, you're the guy now. We'll give you as much money as you want to make whatever you want. It doesn't have to be IP. And this is what they're always chasing. And
why is Gordon Levitt not in the photo? Do people hate him?
There's a billion pictures. Yes, they all hate him.
Knew it. Oh my God. Leo and him are even the same height. Look at how similar they look here.
Yeah. He looks so much like Nolan in this movie. It's crazy.
You think he slicked back his hair just so he'd be like, I'm not going to totally Nolan this for you, okay?
Yeah, but even when he has the slick back hair, I think Nolan, just because Nolan, yes, slick back hair, yes. You know, his dad, the Don Draper dad, literally worked with Ridley Scott in the 70s. So I was wondering, has there been a Nolan movie where his lead character is financially insecure? Nope. Money's never a problem for any of his characters. That's kind of
honest.
It's certainly honest to his experience. But the father-son conflict that he has to devise here, the father-son conflict is, should I inherit my father's business empire or make a business empire of my own?
That is stupid.
So that's just rich guy stuff.
This whole movie is rich guy stuff. Mm. And when I was trying to figure out, like, why are you not connecting to this movie? Why are you being an idiot? Why is you're dumb for not thinking this is good? And it's not that I don't. It's a difference, and this isn't good, and this wasn't enjoyable, and I'm somewhere in between there. I was having a hard time rooting for anyone in this movie. I know that's so. This is my baby brain. But like I do tend to need to be attached or care about someone's journey. Not that I didn't care, but like so much of it was very selfish, was very needless, was very entitled. Was for a stupid motivation, because if you're operating the entire time on the premise that we're really trying to get this billionaire mogul a complete monopoly to this one industry, and that's like why we're fighting so hard, is fucking strange. And the fact that he doesn't stay a villain or like an outsider the entire time. In fact, he becomes a buddy, and it's like emotional, and like we really care about this buddy. Mm-hmm. Who cares this much about this fucking entitled billionaire? It doesn't read as true. So I was, and then you've got Elliot Page, who you're like, okay, so maybe something is blossoming between Gordon Levitt and I'm going to start to care about, like, they need to make it out. They have a future together, or they have futures. I know it's so stupid and basic, but like, so they toy with that, and then it just completely falls off. And I was struggling to grasp onto who I was being pulled through the movie by. I don't know why that's so important to me, but I think maybe in the aftermath, the direct aftermath of the movie, that is why I sometimes leave feeling a bit hollow inside, because my brain seems to need that thing to latch onto and root for someone when that's a stupid thing to need out of a movie.
It's what you respond. I mean, it's what.
Yeah. Yes, I'm a very empathic person, so it's why I cannot watch certain movies and let them go. But it's also why I can't seem to hang on to certain movies, even when I know there's something there.
But maybe it's a defect of DiCaprio that he wasn't able to sell you on the stakes for him, because that's what it's all supposed to be about. Is
I know
he needs to make it through the labyrinth of this dream to get home to his children.
I just find him a liar and very selfish to put at risk all of these people. And I know they're adults and they're making money and whatever. If I guess I just keep thinking of them as friends and not as heist partners, where if it just is straight up a heist in my mind, you'd be like, okay, they're not best friends. They join up to do these things together and then they part ways. They all making a bunch of money. They know what they're getting into. But because they make, anadrenaline, whatever, his special little buddy, I don't like that she's the only one that knows what the real stakes are.
Which is why I kind of like the reading of the movie that she is the inception. She is the projection sent into his subconscious to break him out, like either by Michael Caine or by his wife.
Let's send him a little him.
Let's send him a guide through.
And someone enough like him that he can totally respect that person right away and kind of marvel at like how much they're catching on.
And she's saying the right things to him. Like, listen, it doesn't have to be me, but someone needs to know what you're going through. And by the way, you're going to have to confront your wife. You don't have to do it alone. I'll be right there with you.
That's true. She is a bit of a manic pixie dream girl in just that she's saying everything.
Yes.
It's so selfless.
I love the performance.
I do too.
And FYI, when we're talking about the character Ariadne, we're saying she because the character is a woman.
Character is she.
Elliot Page is a trans man who uses he. If we accidentally say Ellen Page or use she to refer to Elliot Page, it's an accident. We respect gender identities and pros and pronouns and all that stuff. So
100%.
Just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you.
One final thing. I mean, just the question of the interpretation of art, whether is there a valid way to read a movie? Is there an invalid way to read a movie? If Christopher Nolan said, no, Leo makes it out of the dream, that's the real world at the end of the movie. Does that mean anything or should we just discard that? He's never said that, but if he did say, I guess there's a right way to read Inception.
It's stupid because what I'm about to say means nothing matters, but I would be like, well, then it was all for something. It all happened for a reason because at least but it's like, but even if it's a dream and he feels better in the dream, that's all for something too. So I in a way, I don't care as long as his reality is better, but I do care what happened to everybody else's reality.
I think none of them are real. They're all projections.
But that's why it frustrated me when it ended because I had not made that choice yet or that had that realization yet. I am obsessed with these infographics you have on the screen and I want you to zoom in on them, please. Especially the triangle one. I want it so bad.
Just so many diagrams on Google Images.
Do it.
It's not going to work.
Damn. Enhance.
Of the levels of.
Oh, God. Enhance. Okay, well, I'm going to look her up.
The movie opens on a beach.
Or in
the ocean. The most pleasant place of all. The ocean. Oh, what's this? A body. Leonardo.
He's so beat up. Body. He's so blistered and his eyes are bloodshot and he's been through so much.
Seeing some little gremlin kids building a sandcastle and making little kid noises. Sandcastle. And he starts to reach out for them. And then he gets poked by a security guard and brought into a house on the beach where powerful security guards tend to an elderly Ken Watanabe. David Sims on the Blank Check podcast says he thinks that Nolan wrote this role for Ken Watanabe as an apology for killing him off in Batman Begins with nothing to do.
Yeah, good. That's, mea culpa accepted.
Yes, you're a great actor. I did you dirty. I'll give you a real plum role in this movie.
I find it plum.
And he's great. They do have a line where he says to allay your concerns about him being an evil billionaire is my competitor. They'll be like a superpower. We can't let them control the energy of the world. So they're trying to make it seem like
did not notice that line.
If my company, I'm a good billionaire. I'm like Bruce Wayne. If I own the energy of the world, I'm good. And that'll be good. Yes. So Ken Watanabe in elderly makeup, he asked for you by name, and he was carrying a spinning top. And then Leonardo DiCaprio's haggard. He's a very hungry man, just clutching his bowl to his face. Are you here to kill me? And we then flop over into, I guess, the present with these same guys in a very similar room. Young Ken Watanabe talking to young, put together DiCaprio. What is the most resilient parasite? A bacteria? A virus? An intestinal worm? An idea. Once an idea has taken hold on the brain, it's impossible to eradicate. So once again, we are talking all about ideas and symbols. I need to be a symbol, Alfred. But here's why I like it in this movie. Because we're only talking about how an idea affects one person, not about how an idea changes society. Because of course it's true. Yes, you can get consumed with an idea of I don't love my husband, or my gender identity is different from what I don't believe in God anymore. These are just ideas, and then they come to define your life. And that is a real thing. Versus a bat symbol can change the world because everybody will be inspired.
My dad doesn't love me. That's a better, all those are good examples, but like that is truly something that you can believe that can totally steer your life a different way, and your self-worth and who you decide to bring into your life and accept, what kind of treatment you want to accept. And it's like, or I'm worthless. That thought can, yeah.
So then his partner, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, they're talking about what they do. They do extraction. They steal ideas in the dream state. And what they're here to do is they can train you, Mr. Saito, that's Ken Watanabe, to repel even the most skilled extractors. So what's going on in all of this? What happens here?
I mean, he's doing a pitch. He's pitching. He clearly sells this service to very important rich men. But for some reason, this is a dream. Because like, okay, you have this service, you go door to door and you sell this or whatever, and you're pitching him, but then it turns out he's actually interviewing you. So you don't even know what's going on in this dream or who's having it or any of this stuff.
Yeah, I think they were hired, at least what they say is they were hired by Cobb Mal Engineering, a competitor of his, to infiltrate his dream. But he was prepared. He was ready for them and started using this as an audition for them. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But because they're in a dream within a dream, he's like, well, hot damn, you really are the shit. And he realizes this because he wakes up outside of the dream, he thinks, but he's laying on a rug that should feel of wool, and it feels of polyester. And that's how he wins him over. This another issue with this movie for me, and this is my stupid baby brain, I know that action distracts me, and this truly is 5 action movies on top of each other. So at some point I do start to lose threads of what layer is what, and I think it's all going to pay off, and I'll figure it out. And I think that's why I start to resent the movie, is like, I'm now so distracted by everything I'm trying to hold in my head at once, instead of just enjoying what's happening on the screen.
And I will say the action, I think, is very, very good in this movie. And it tremendously improves when you watch it a second time. The centerpiece of the movie is a 30-minute thing where the things that happening at different levels of the dream are affecting each other. And when you can really track them because you've seen the movie already, it's like a beautiful thing to behold.
It is a ballet. It's an orchestra of making sure that this thing takes seconds, this thing takes minutes, this thing takes microseconds. This, all of that. That it is amazing how much they know when they wake up in a new reality.
Because with action, the most important thing in any action sequence is you want to see cause and effect. Because this happens, this thing happens. Now we have to deal with that thing. And Nolan's idea is like, well, what if we have 3 different movies playing simultaneously, and because one thing happens in one movie, it affects the other movie, which then ripples to the third movie. And that is, it is too hard to track when you see it for the first time. When you see it the second time, it works so well.
Well, and the thing that the only thing they give you to let yourself know how deep they are inside of a dream and a dream and a dream and a dream is how unstable is this world, that it should get harder and harder to do anything wrong inside of the space. But they don't treat it like that, because they're down to the 10-year level and they're just walking, they're just talking.
I agree.
And it's like it becomes more relaxed the deeper you get in, because you have more time. But it should be being heightened also, in that you cannot make a mistake, and it should be easier to track what would be a mistake, I guess. But I guess more rumbling should be happening,
I agree, because it seems like the van flies backward off the bridge. That affects things in the next dream down. And then in the snow level, there's an avalanche, but that's it. You don't see any other ripples of the thing going down, and maybe that's because everything happens so much slower there. But I agree. I think it should be like in the stories where like you try to change the past, the closer you get to accomplishing your goal, the more like the world rebels against you. So the harder, like, you'll be driving on a street and then a tree will fall in front of you.
Like, if you're going to give us a rule, then you need to follow it the whole time. Where like you just didn't have to say that at all. We can just understand, like, oh, you're shaking because it's shaking out there. We can put that together. You don't need to say that it's because of this, because now I'm trying to apply it.
It's distracting that the gravity thing doesn't happen on the snow level. It should happen on the snow level.
Right.
But it's like he so wanted to do.
And that was amazing.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the Bond movie where there's snow ski chases.
Well, sorry, that was not amazing. That can go eat a dick. But the whole scene of
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt of the aerobatic fighting of these two random men, and then the gathering of his friends and stacking them ass to foot or whatever, and wrapping them up, and you don't know what the fuck it's just beautiful, and it looks so hard to do.
And Laci's making my favorite noises to hear from Laci of huh and ha. And when you got that phone call from your friend and said you don't know how you felt, I got annoyed because we just watched the movie and you were wrapped with attention the whole movie. You weren't on your phone. You were just twiddling with your fidget twiddlers, and you're just focused. And I can tell that means you were into a movie.
That meant I knew I needed to pay super hard attention to a movie so that I could make sure if there's anything at the end that doesn't work for me, it's not my fault. So you heard the noises of me paying really good attention. That doesn't mean I'm enjoying myself.
You didn't make your frustrated noises though. You didn't go like this.
Because it wasn't doing anything frustrating. It was the experience ended up being really tense and not that chill. It turns out I like to chill and watch a movie, I guess. So I mean, I knew I was signing up for an activity and not necessarily like something to decompress. And we were solidly in my decompress time. So,
Yeah, but this is a job.
I was doing the job.
You did your job. You did your job beautifully. Mal, we haven't mentioned her. Marion Cotillard, who just won Best Actress at the Oscars, the Academy Awards, for playing in a French language movie. Her performance in La Vie en Rose was so impressive that they're like, we'll give this French lady an Oscar. And then she gets the big plum role.
Stop saying plum.
In Inception. And I think this is my favorite Marion Cotillard performance. I love her in this movie. The thing with him and her is what I really connect to in the movie, even as it is reduced to him saying at the end, I, Christopher Nolan, can't write a convincing woman character. You're just a shade. You're the best I can do. And yet even that I find, because I think her performance is so good.
Well, but also it's a really sweet thing to say, because like she's the thing he's able to architect is still a very compelling person. Mm-hmm. And he's saying, no, you are even more incredible than this, that I know I'm not doing you justice. So it's the sweetest way you can say I'm face blind and I'll never know the color of eyes, Laci.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's also why I maybe relate to it.
No shit.
No, shut up.
Okay.
I can imagine your imperfections. Trust me. I can't imagine you with all your perfections.
Don't whisper at me.
So she's always intruding. I love this thing Laci said last week about the Joker. The Joker is what if my intrusive thoughts win? And in this movie, intrusive thoughts, oh shit, they keep coming. My damn wife and my damn kids keep showing up when I'm at work. And his damn wife shows up at work. And Gordon-Levitt's like, what's she doing here? And he's like, no problem. I'll go take care of it. And he goes and talks to her. He's like, Mal, what are you doing here? And she's like, if I jump off of the balcony, will I die? And he's like, I don't think so. I think you'll probably be fine. But hey, come up with me. And we don't know that she's his dead wife yet. But like, if he's trying to, whatever he's trying to, this is a thing where you have to watch the movie again to realize he's not trying to get her to go away. He's like, he's talking to her. He's engaging with her. In fact, he needs her help to do what he's trying to do. He needs her to sit in a chair so he can use it as a weight, so he can rappel down to an earlier floor. And she doesn't do it.
Okay, wait. I need a refresher here. And I just watched this yesterday. Ariadne.
No one says it naturally in the movie.
Ariadne.
Good work.
Okay. Ari. She says something about Mal that apparently even Foster doesn't understand about Mal. Is it Foster?
Fisher.
The fucking Joseph.
Arthur is Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
There's an Arthur in this fucking movie?
His character's name is Arthur.
Alfred and Arthur need to get the fuck out of these movies. This is insane. Okay, well, fine. But like he seems to be the most longstanding partner, but she comes in and she's like, so Mal is doing this and this and then this, and she says all these things, and it's treated as though even Arthur doesn't know this. But what is it? Because it's clear that she can just come into it's Arthur's dream there initially, and she comes into it because of his subconscious. Mm-hmm. So what's the other thing that
he should be ignoring her? He should not be like, he's talking to her, he's indulging her, he's feeding her, he's keeping her alive, basically.
So she realizes that the reason she's coming in is because he kind of likes it.
Yeah. She sees, and Arthur doesn't seem to see that, or he's ignoring it. And I kind of like the idea that if Arthur is supposed to be the producer to Cobb, the director, he kind of gets a sense maybe he's a bad producer. You didn't do your job. You didn't do the due diligence. And whenever they're having like their story conferences, all he does is criticize people. And they're like, well, how about you come up with your own idea?
Okay, but then it's revealed that yes, he did do his due diligence. That is Cobb's shit coming in and shooting everybody up, and the train going through was Cobb.
The train is Cobb. The people shooting are Fischer.
So, but he is projecting, saying that you didn't do your due diligence, when it's just as bad that Cobb has not worked on himself at all enough to make sure that shit like that doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. So he's just as bad.
Yeah. So up on the upper level, we got Lucas Haas as another member of their team who is part of the Pussy Posse, of course.
Forgot about the Pussy Posse. So on the upper level, where this person is actually Leonardo DiCaprio, he's a piece of shit.
I don't know that he's a piece of shit. He liked
he's
pussy.
He's a poon hound.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
We all love poon, don't we?
You need a posse?
Folks, don't we love poon? Sometimes you got to get together with your bros and go hunt for poon. This mob arrives, and then we find out, oh, this is a dream too. Anyway, they all wake up on a fucking bullet train, and the mission was a failure, and Cobb gets off of the train, and he hands everybody money, and he's like, we split up now. I'm getting off the train in Kyoto. I don't like trains. So then we go to his house in Kyoto, and he's spinning his top, holding a gun to his head. If this thing doesn't stop spinning, I'm going to shoot myself in the head. So this everything we see here is supposed to be in the real world. The I am awake and not in a dream world. But in my read of the movie, this is all fake too. Cobb gets a phone call from his kids, and they're like, Daddy, and we once again see this. It really does look like stock footage you could buy on Vecteezy. These glowing little angels running around in the backyard. Daddy, when are you coming home? Is Mommy with you? And he says, I told you, Mommy's not here anymore. And the kid says, where? So it's like, if this is all a dream, he can sort of acknowledge, if she's alive in the real world, she's not with me right here. And the kid asks, so where are you exactly?
And it is odd that he has only 2 children and they have distinctive voices. And he's like, is that you, James? Yeah. Is that you?
Philippa.
It's like, well, if the other one was James, then the other one's Philip. Fucking what?
And their grandmother's like, their grandmother gets them off of the phone because she hates that Cobb, that Dom Cobb. And then Arthur shows up at the apartment, and he's like, hey, or Cobb says, hey, I'm sorry about Mal. She shot you in the leg, and I know that hurt. And he says, it's getting worse, isn't it? So he does know.
He does know, right? But he seems to think that Mal's powers are getting stronger. That's what I took it as, is that she is stuck somewhere and is so good at like breaking into his brain space that she's making it to where he can't do his job, and anyone working with him is in danger. That's what I thought.
Yeah. And like these are guys who work together and sort of
she's working for Cobb.
Arthur's hitched his wagon to Cobb, and he's like, I hope it's not getting worse because I have to go with you no matter what. Whereas Ariadne is a newcomer and can see the situation more clearly.
You didn't at all react to my little idea here.
How could she be working for Cobb?
Well, if this is just his reality, then he's dealing with the fact that his wife left him to work with a more powerful dream company. She never wanted to be with the kids anyway. She's spent 50 happy years without them. So it seems perfectly natural that she'd want to keep doing dream espionage and not deal with the children.
So she's in the real world. She's made it out. She's made it back to her kids, but she's like, I don't know about these kids.
Right.
I need a job.
Yeah.
I need a job, baby. Okay.
That's why she keeps busting in on these dreams.
No, you might. I mean, I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there that has that theory.
She just has the energy of a competitor.
A French competitor.
That's the energy.
They go up onto the roof. They're going to hitch a ride to, where are you going? Buenos Aires, wherever Cobalt can't reach me. And, but on the helicopter is Mr. Saito, Ken Watanabe. And he starts making them his own pitch about what's the opposite of extraction? Inception. You can steal an idea from somebody's brain, but can you plant an idea inside of their brain? And Gordon Levitt's immediately like, no, it's impossible. Here's why. If I tell you don't think about elephants, what do you think about? Elephants. Instantly, elephants.
Yeah.
He's like, but no.
But that's not an idea. I mean, it's too simplistic.
But it's not your idea. I gave it to you, and you'll know I gave it to you. This can only work if the brain generates the idea on its own. It can't be done. And Cobb's like, no, it can be done. And so this is their relationship, and this is also any director who's like, oh, but wouldn't it be cool if we shut down the entire city of Chicago and
can't be done.
Got 10 million school buses? Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it can be done. You just have to do extra work, and I'm telling you, you're going to do it.
And Saito says, please do it, because if I make one phone call, you can go back to America. Cobb's deal is he can't go back to America. We don't know why yet, but something about extradition.
This is another huge clue that this is a dream. It makes no sense.
It's way too simple.
It does. Well, this man who isn't an evil billionaire can make one American phone call and get someone off a murder list. That makes...
What murder list?
What the fuck?
What call did you make? And
why is it one? How did that do everything?
Even if, at the end of the movie, he makes the call on the plane. We're landing in Los Angeles in 20 minutes, sir. So he calls the State Department. Hey, please take him off of your please unflag him. Even if he's that powerful, I bet that takes longer than 20 minutes. I bet that takes a while.
It takes me 20 minutes to get through Walgreens to let them know that my prescription is going to be called by a different doctor.
But it's all dream logic. It's I can't go home. I can go everywhere else in the world from country to country. But this guy can make one phone call and make my problems disappear. So his thing is, my main competitor is a man whose CEO is dying. His son will inherit it. I want you to convince the son to break apart his inheritance because they're an evil company. I'm a good company. Okay. Okay.
You know, I mean, this team, they are, this gaggle of actors are these characters. Like, no matter what, when Nolan's got an idea, he's going to go assemble a group, and it's going to be Michael Caine, and it's going to be fucking Cillian Murphy, and it's going to be...
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I got to get the team back together.
Uh-huh.
Why? I've got another fucking idea. Mother God, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. No. You're the best.
And he does, especially at this point, he always uses the same editor, cinematographer, production designer. Although Nathan Crowley's his production designer wasn't able to get work on this movie, but it's basically always the exact same team,
which I always like about somebody, and that other people, that those people are willing to do it, makes me know something about the person.
Everyone loves him. Everyone says just the most glowing things about him. Now he's also the most powerful figure in Hollywood, so maybe you have to. But
do you?
He seems like a swell guy.
All right. Wait, name another really powerful person in Hollywood.
James Cameron, Steven Spielberg.
Do they say nice things about both of those men? Only nice
people
things.
say James Cameron's really intense.
Okay, so there you go. And Spielberg, they say nice things.
They say nice things.
Okay, but there are directors who are still big and powerful who people are willing to say how they feel. I think there would be a code word, right? Like just the way that intense is a code word for, this is going to be hard.
Intense. He's an intense man.
Yeah,
he knows what he wants. Yep.
And I know I want that paycheck. So
they go to Paris because he needs a new architect. How to in the this team is a film crew metaphor. DiCaprio is the director. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the producer. We need an architect. An architect would be your screenwriter and or your production designer. But I think it's screenwriter because Leo says, I can't design anymore. I can't build anymore, which is when Christopher Nolan said, I wish I didn't have to write. It's like there are directors who feel like I don't like writing. It's lonely. I like being on a crew, on a set with people, but alone with my thoughts for 6 months.
Right. I can do it. I have done it. But I can no longer do it because it poisons me as much as it fulfills the project. Yeah.
And I keep writing characters with dead wives. And I keep writing, I keep having these tropes. And maybe someone else can come in and give me new ideas.
Right.
So he arrives in Paris to talk to Michael Caine in a classroom. This particular sequence, and this is the one that was super trimmed down.
And Michael Caine's poor tired corpse is like, you had me shoot and reshoot that scene for 3 hours and you took out all of it. I'm Michael Caine.
I bet he seems like a kind of guy who wouldn't care about that. He's like, I had a bloody check cleared. So both this scene, the way it's edited, is a thing where you can point to and say, this is like a dream. Because he's like moving in weird ways. And like, how did he get in the class? He didn't open the door to the classroom, and now he's in the middle of the classroom.
This is another thing that can be hidden by the fact that he cuts weird everywhere. So, is it safe for you to be here?
Is it safe for you to be here? And what he says is extradition between France and the U.S. is a bureaucratic nightmare. Which I don't know if that's true, but I think the French police, if they picked him up, would send him to America or send him to a French jail. You're wanted for murder. That's how that works.
Yeah. So it seems like it's a different kind of question, which is like, I'm literally her father. Being this close to me isn't going to trigger you in some kind of massive way.
Oh, that's true.
You know.
But what a lot of people complained about is they didn't realize from this scene that he is his wife's father. They thought he is Leo's father.
Oh.
Or
I realized
or that they're not related, or that it just wasn't clear. And this is the scene that they really trimmed down. And then the editing with him appearing to, we don't see him open the door. When we see him in the middle of the room, the door is closed. There was no noise to indicate opening the door. And all this sounds really boring, but like there are basic editing things you do because we know this sort of cinematic language where if you enter a room, there's things you do that make us.
Yeah, he seems more like a ghost than a person with footprints.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He's not leaving footprints.
He's Bruce Willis. Yeah. Bruce Willis. Yep.
In Armageddon.
Yeah.
So I guess he's like, he taught Cobb how to navigate men's minds. He's the guy that...
I don't think he did.
That's what he says. You taught me to navigate men's minds. But after what happened, there weren't a whole lot of legitimate ways for me to use that skill. Mm-hmm. But I think I found a way home. It's a job. Well, he says, you taught me how to navigate men's minds. And like, I didn't tell you to be a bloody thief. So I think that his job was he either advises...
Therapy or something, like helping people work through stuff. Right. Wild enter into there.
Although this is an architecture school. So if he was a great architect, he got hired by the military to build people's dreams because you need convincing architecture in dreams.
Oh, okay. So like the end justifies the means. You were in there getting military intelligence. You weren't stealing from regular people who had enough money to ask you to steal from another person.
But him saying, teach you to read men's minds. But he's an architecture teacher. So is it like, we're doing this actual other thing? You say your job is you're building.
You need an architect to build the dream space to go into the minds and read men's minds. Wait, but he has to build what they've seen or what they will believe is something. How the fuck do they do that? Oh, movie.
I know. So it's like, I think the way that works is you build models, you show them to the person having the dream, and they're like, all right, when you dream this. Okay, good. I think that's the way it works.
No.
Yes.
No. I don't know.
So he gives a big speech.
It's all very fucking Lego movie. Like, okay, just think of something. Okay, architect, and like I built this world.
But it doesn't work exactly like that.
Right. And it's like, but don't do anything too specific. Don't do something that you actually remember from your own mind. How the fuck? I'm going to write a song based on nothing I've ever heard before? How? Whose mind works this way? You gave me a reference picture. What's that picture of, if not a real thing? What are you talking about?
Well, no, it can't be a real thing that you experienced in your own life.
Okay.
Because then you can get confused and you will lose track of whether you're in a dream or in the real world.
Oh, and he built all those houses when he was in Limbo and fucked himself up.
Yes. He gives his whole fucking speech about like, some people, some very powerful people. And if I do this job, this one last job, I can go home. And Michael Caine says, come back to reality, Dom. But no, I need an architect. I need one of your best and brightest. Okay, I have someone who will do.
You're so worried about your son-in-law. You've already lost your daughter, that you're going to give up to him on a plate the most promising other person you've met in a long time. You're a fucking psycho.
Yeah, so maybe this really is this movie's an inception of Cobb, because he has to at first push back. It can't be too willing, and then say, okay, I got the perfect person for you. Ariadne. Elliot Page's Ariadne. Love this performance. So soft-spoken, especially here. Where first, here, design a maze in 2 minutes that I can solve in one. Seems I'd fucking shit my pants right there. But she does it on her third try when she makes a maze. He's like, too easy. Makes another maze too easy. And then is like, fuck you. I'll make a circle maze. And he's like, well, goddamn. That's more like it.
Morgan Freeman.
And now we're doing mission prep. We're assembling a team, and they're going to be able to explain how it all works. So you see, dreams are minds. The mind fills in the details on autopilot, like Nolan said about having the dream with a book with words in it and realizing, my mind wrote that book. But you do creative things, Laci. You have the moment where you realize, like, this does feel like it's on autopilot. Like, I'm just, what's the metaphor they always use is like the sculptor is just revealing the statue beneath the rock. It's always there. You're just sort of discovering it.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Sometimes I think of the thing in its entirety and then I make it. Other times I just dive in and go, I'll figure it out as I go. There's two, and I do it both ways.
Every creative thing I've ever done, I create it as I go. I can't think of things.
And sometimes I've dreamt it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've dreamt a couple of songs.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so good.
Okay.
So what she says she's, how could I ever come up with enough detail to be able to fool somebody? And he's like, well, you only need enough, like people have expectations about what everything should look like, and they're sort of diminished in the dream. But this is very similar to simulation theory, where you only, if you play a video game, the computer only has to render what's in sight of the player. So everything else in the dream that they're not seeing, you don't have to render any of that stuff.
It's still also so simplistic. Well, they're giving you plenty of exposition, but in no way explaining why she's good at this, why what she's doing and we're seeing is good.
Yeah, I agree.
We have to just depend on him being like, damn.
Yeah, because we watch
best
him.
I've ever seen.
Exactly. We watch him follow her. He's like, impressive, because she makes a bridge appear. But why is that?
Why?
Doesn't seem like that should be that impressive.
Right. And then she makes the world fold in on itself, but still function. And they walk around for a while. And it's like, okay, Nolan found a tool that he wants to use. So he's doing that. And then she made two big mirrors come out of nowhere and did the thing we all know how to do, which is make infinity. And then she makes it break. Wow. I mean, whatever. I get it. This is... If you can bend reality, how do you make someone look really good at it when none of us know what that would look like?
Right. The meta thing is Nolan is so powerful that he can be like, well, I've always wanted two giant mirrors in the middle of Paris to reflect on each other. And he's like Ariadne, like, oh, I can do whatever I want to do. Just maybe what I always wanted to do is kind of boring. What if two mirrors?
Infinite shit creeps me out.
In my parents' home, me and my brother's mirror, we had our bathroom. We each had a mirror that faced each other. And when I was a kid, I would stare into it and like try to see as far as I could see around the curve. And it was horrifying.
Yes, all of us have done that.
I thought it was special of me.
Infinite shit freaks us all out.
So we learn about the projections. Okay, you see, here's the thing. You have the person who's having the dream, and then you have the person who's the subject of a dream, and they're the one whose mind populates the dream. And all the projections are projections of, wait a minute, the projections are the projections of the dreamer or the subject?
Jesus Christ.
I get confused so much trying to think of the rules of this movie.
Where's that diagram?
Because...
Like, whose dream are they in right now?
They're in...
They can't be in his, right? Because his are dangerous?
They're in his dream because the projections keep looking at her.
Well, and they wake up just the two of them. So, yeah, just the two of them dreaming.
Yes, the projections reject her, and that's what the projections do. They're the people who sense a foreign invader of the dream. You shouldn't be here, that's always effective in anything. And eventually one of those projections is Mal, and she shows up and fucking kills her. And they wake up in the real world and she's like, holy shit, who was that? Oh, I guess you met Mal. Mrs. Cobb. They're together? They're dating? This guy's fucking crazy. I'm not sharing my dreams with him. I'm out of here. And Cobb's immediately like, she'll be back because...
But what was crazy about this? It all seemed fine to me.
I guess he didn't prepare her for like, oh, you might get killed. Somebody might come up and murder you, and it will be just as terrifying as if it happened in real life.
And let me tell you about totems after you do it for the first time. Let me not tell you you're about to do it. But the thing is, she had to go under.
Yeah, there's no way to teach somebody any of that without doing it.
It's just she had to go under. So I'm about to put this thing in your arm. You're going to wake up at a French cafe, or why doesn't she remember the first time she put the thing in her arm unless they bagged her head and chloroformed her and made her wake up in the middle of a dream?
Yeah.
Unless you just have to get used to waking up in the middle of a dream. Yeah.
He says that later to kill you.
Okay.
It takes years of practice to be able to remember something like that.
And yet she's had no time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She'll be back because he knows the obsessive personality.
I think he knows once you've had a taste of this and you see what you can do and you're an architect and you want to build things.
But that will take a hold of you like an obsession that you can't get rid of.
I think any regular person would want to do this more than once.
We're gonna need more people. We're gonna need Eames, Tom Hardy, he's in Mombasa, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, that's Cobal's backyard.
Totally.
Okay. Eames is the best forger in the world. So he's the actor, of course, in the movie. Tom Hardy playing Eames, and Eames' role on the team is the actor.
Mm-hmm.
Or the costume department, whatever. Do you like this performance from Tom Hardy?
I do. I like him. I always like him.
Yeah, he's the... But this is a mode we don't get to see Tom Hardy in. Is kind of a fun, sassy bitch. Usually I have the giant Bane mask, or I'm Mad Max, or I'm Venom. I don't know. But yeah, he's fun here. And there's a lot.
He's smooth. He's clever.
So he's like, hey, I'm going to try Inception. He's like, yeah, I tried that once. It didn't work though. So who are you going to try to incept? And he's like, well, there's this fucking... A guy hired me to break up his competitor's business, father-son thing. And Eames is and Eames reacts immediately by being like a script doctor. He's like, no. See, all that stuff aside, of political machinations and anti-monopolistic sentiment, this is about a very core idea, the relationship of the son and the father, which this is how Hollywood script meetings work. Is
right.
We gotta really reduce this down to what this is actually about. And then we meet Yusuf, who's the best chemist in the business. But Cobb first needs to evade his tail because Cobalt Engineering's goons have arrived, and they chase him just like the projections chase the people in the dreams.
Yeah, as if there are no laws. And you just shoot indiscriminately at each other.
And they're talking so casually about it, like, I got a tail over there in the bar.
Well, they're talking about it like Indiana Jones. I mean,
yeah. It's a very Indiana Jones sequence and a very Bond sequence.
And a very...
Bourne?
Jungle
Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It literally is. I'll meet you back here. This isn't where they're going to look.
That happens in Jungle Cruise?
Yeah.
Oh, Jungle Cruise. Remember Jungle Cruise?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta do an episode where we catch up with The Rock because stuff's happening with him. It's not going well.
We got to catch him before he rots.
Moana 2 Moana live action did not do well. And he's not happy about it.
Oh.
So
that was supposed to be his safe landing after he tried something so tricky.
I know.
Poor guy.
But he's got Jumanji coming up. So
why won't you guys just do what I want? Why won't you love me?
It's so sad. He just wants to be
a
loved
wishing
so
paw
badly.
or whatever.
A one wish willow. One wish willow. As DiCaprio is running from the people, he runs down this alley that literally folds in on, narrows in on itself, which is so dreamy.
Freaks me out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he makes it through, and what do you know? Ken Watanabe just happens to pull up right there. Mr. Cobb, here, jump into my car and get away to safety.
Right.
It's a dream, people. Come on.
Come on.
I was expecting you to be more resistant to this.
Wait, why?
Because when the movie ended, you said, no, it's not a dream.
I was going completely off the thing, the fucking physics of was a thing about to fall. And it's like, that's not the point. It doesn't point. It's stupid that spinning top could have fallen. I knew I'd be talked into stuff there. I just needed to be able to think through it. And I wasn't really even sure how to tackle that. And I'm annoyed by this is a project. When I watch a movie, I like catharsis. I like to laugh. I like to be scared, but I like to be done. And this is frustrating to me. That doesn't make it bad.
I'll tell you something funny. When Joseph Gordon-Levitt is giving Elliot Page a tour of paradoxical architecture and they reach the top of the infinite stairs and he goes, paradox.
And then he does it to that guy when he pushes him.
Knee slapper right there.
Right. Then he pushes the guy off the infinite stairs. Paradox.
Bitch.
Does it again. No, he says paradox.
Oh, he doesn't say bitch? I remember him.
Paradox.
I know. He did not in a Christopher Nolan movie. Yeah, bitch.
Why wouldn't they say bitch?
Because this is a tea sipping, nice suit wearing
Nolan movies
movie.
not curse?
You wouldn't say bitch like that.
What?
Jesse Pinkman would not be in a Christopher Nolan movie.
Well, that's dumb.
So Ariadne comes back. She's like, yeah, there's just nothing like it, is there? Well, let's look at some paradoxical architecture. Explains the thing about Mal. She's dead. She's married to Cobb. She's dead.
Wait, but this is also the first time we learned that because the landscape cannot be infinite, it also needs to be designed as a maze. You need to trap someone inside this one setting. So like you're only going to be at the ski slope place. You're only going to a bank. You're only you need a reason to keep somebody stuck inside of one or two places the entire time. Otherwise it's impossible to contain.
Right. So you can break the rules like doing the Primrose steps. But it can't be that obvious to the people, but
that's why she has to be a good maze builder.
Mm-hmm. Cobb goes and meets with the chemist. This is Dilip Rao as Yusuf. And they're like, we need to go dream within a dream within a dream, 3 levels deep. And we need a sedative that will keep people awake so that can be sustainable. And he's like, that's impossible. And they're like, is it really? And he's like, no, it's possible. I can do it. Here, let me show you.
Don't ask me anything 3 times.
Let me go show you. And he takes out this set of dungeon keys and he's like, oh, I'm not so sure you would want to see this though. And he's like, trust us, we want to see. So they go down to this dream den where all these people are hooked up to a thing together, a dream together.
Why wouldn't he want to see it?
Because it'll freak you out, man.
All these people are plugged into the Matrix because they want to be.
I think he says that because that's his own projection telling him you don't want to confront what you know is the truth, that the world isn't real, that you're in a dream, that there are people out there who will choose to live in dreams rather than live in the real world, as these people do.
It's the only way they can wake up.
And that guy then says, they really come here to be put to sleep? No, they come here to be woken up. Who are you to say they're wrong, sir? Which is another part of his subconscious saying, like, this world I've chosen down here is totally valid. This is where I'm alive. This is where my wife is alive. Mm-hmm. But it's a very fucking powerful sedative. And when he wakes up, he's frazzled and he spins his top, but then his top falls off the sink. And so there are people who think that everything after this point is a dream because he doesn't find out, spins his top. But I know, and
I remember fine. Yes, but there's so many signs that everything before it are a dream too. So if everything before it isn't, then they're doing a shit job of showing you what reality looks like ever.
Yeah, that's an impulse people have of like, but how can I make the movie more boring? I think everything after this point is a dream.
Right.
Now, in the mission prep, we got this thing with Robert Fisher, who's played by Cillian Murphy, who I think is my favorite performance in the movie. And is secretly like one of the big MVPs of the movie. And I guess in the film metaphor, he's like the movie itself, or he's the lead character.
Yeah, he's the project.
So he is his father runs Fisher Morrow. His father's played by Pete Postlethwaite. His father is dying. this business is maybe Australian or maybe American. This is all stuff that I just like getting stills from the movie. Realize Cillian Murphy's passport is Australian.
Okay.
He takes a flight from Australia to America every 2 weeks. He speaks with an American accent. His dad is dying in Australia, but is then going to be flown back to America. Why would he be doing that? It's just more clues that like this world doesn't make sense. And Tom Hardy's like, go get me down there to do reconnaissance. And obviously you don't need to see him like get on a plane and fly to Australia, but never mentioning, hey, I just went to Australia is weird.
It is weird. And it also echoes his life being split between two continents and Bale being split between two continents too. Bale and Nolan both have that in common.
Oh, that was Jackman. Hugh Jackman,
Damn
Australia and England. Yeah.
What's Bale's issue? Well, whatever. He grew up somewhere else and then came here.
Yeah.
Ha!
He has American citizenship now. Yeah.
Dual citizen.
And his father later remarried Gloria Steinem.
See? I told you.
So Tom Hardy he goes to do the reconnaissance there. Gets to like get into a meeting where Tom Berenger plays their like business conciliary, who Cillian Murphy keeps calling Uncle Peter because he's his godfather. And he's the dying Mr. Fisher's right-hand man. And Tom Hardy's going to be playing the Tom Berenger character, but Tom Berenger's talking to these lawyers and they're like, what would Mr. Maurice Fisher have to say about all this? And he's like, well, you could ask him yourself. Opens the door to the next room and the next room is a bedroom. That's dream logic. That's
also, this isn't a bedroom.
Yes, but why would he be in the office?
Yes, but like I've also seen this before. Like it just houses so large that when you go to put something very standard sized in it, like a hospital bed, it's no longer a giant rich person bed. It's tiny in the room, like in Saltburn. It just doesn't belong there. Yes, but this is like he's so far away. Like I feel like I keep walking toward him and I wouldn't be able to get to him. Like a dream. I agree. Well, like Dad was just always in the office. I can't even dream about him without picturing him there, even if he is in his hospital bed. Because this is an office.
I guess.
Or a dining room.
I guess it could be a home office. I guess I don't know. It just feels
Lynch.
like the dreamlike thing. If I open a door, now we're in an entirely different environment that doesn't make sense.
Well, and they will do it again with this exact setup when they're three levels down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're having a big production meeting with whiteboards. Tom Hardy's given the speech about the character motivations. He studied Browning. He studied his mannerisms, his speech, because he's a method actor. But we're trying to tell a story. You see, this is about a father and a son reconciling. But DiCaprio says, I want this to be about something positive, because I feel like positive emotion, the heart yearns for catharsis. Positive emotion trumps negative emotion every time. This is Nolan. The showman. I want audiences to be left with feeling something positive.
Well, you failed. On this one.
Man, I don't think so. I feel so good for him at the end of the movie.
Oh. I failed.
So their plan is they're going to have 3 dreams. On the top level, they're going to incept Cillian Murphy with, I don't want to follow in my father's footsteps. And the second level, it's, I will create something for myself. And on the third level, my father doesn't want me to be him. Because the idea has to feel self-generated, but you have to give it this emotional attachment. And then Cobb is later explaining that his totem used to belong to Mal. It would just spin and spin in a dream. Ariadne says the very awkward thing of, Arthur told me she passed away. Okay. And he's like, okay, so can we keep looking at some dream shit? And she's like, yeah. And they go down, he can't keep Mal out of her dreams. That's why he can't design anything, because she'll know the designs and she'll be able to infiltrate and find him anywhere they go.
And it turns out that the reason she's so so familiar with all of that he can design is because he's keeping her in a dream prison that he visits every single night.
Yeah, I guess.
Right. He's not doing any work to process her out.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing everything he can to keep her in. But it's not really her.
Well, even
he's
if it's
doing it to himself.
Well, yes, even if it's not that she's trapped in the prison.
He is.
Yes. So it doesn't matter. So she can find him anywhere because he hasn't actually closed her off.
Elliot Page's job the whole time is to make it his idea that he's doing the right thing for Mal, when really they're trying to do the right thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, fine. It's a dream.
But that it doesn't need to be a dream for that to also like be a thing that's actually happening.
I know. I know. I'm very smart and I understand this movie.
All right. So another complication, the sedative. Normally, if you die in a dream, you just wake up in reality. But with the sedative, two big complications. Time. 10 hours of waking time. That'll be a week in the first dream, 6 months of the second dream, and 10 years in the third dream. And Christopher Nolan just had the biggest fucking boner when he wrote that. And then didn't get it all out here. Needed to do another movie, Interstellar, that's even more about that. And then if you die in any of the dreams, you'll go down to limbo. Although we don't find out about that till later. The way that they get out of the dreams is they have a kick. The kick is another thing I always struggle to understand.
So what do they say are the stakes of, okay, now you can't die. The sedative, fuck me. Because normally they go under for like 5 minutes, right? That's their normal little I'm in a dream thing.
For the training stuff, I think they go on, it's longer. For
5 to 10.
I think it's longer for
I don't think so.
Whatever.
Because I don't think they realize hours can happen until they meet that chemist, right? So maybe an hour, but definitely not 5 or 10. They're not doing that. So now they're playing with much bigger slats of time. But so they're all just like, dang, that's a long time. But why are they finding that? Why do they think they need that amount of time to get done what they need to get done? If the time gets longer and longer, the deeper you get in, then why do you need 10 hours? Why not 1 minute?
Because they know how complex it is and they need to give themselves enough room for error and trial and error. But
at what point do they find out that, hey, it's different if you die here? That's not right now?
No, that's once the people start shooting at them in the garage.
Well, that's a rude way to do it. But so that's another thing, that there's no transparency with this team at so many moments. So again, hard to root for Leo. But anyway, so their issue now is that they need to find time to get the subject alone for 10 hours where no one else is going to walk in on him and it'd be weird that he's plugged into a thingy. Mm-hmm. Why not while he's asleep at his home?
Because they can't go into his house because he has security or whatever. I don't know, because he doesn't know them. But on a plane, he'll be by himself.
Why?
Because he usually flies private, but they'll concoct a reason for his private plane to be grounded. So he has to go oh shit, guess I'll better take that flight to LA that Ken Watanabe has bought the airline of.
But why not travel with? Okay. All right. Sorry. Buying it wholesale. Got it.
Sydney to LA. It's the longest flight in the world, 10 hours. He takes it every 2 weeks. We'll just buy out the whole airline and then we'll have 10 uninterrupted hours with him. Great. Cobb is sleeping. Ariadne sees him asleep and she's like, okay, we'll just hop into the dream, see what's going on down with you.
Wait, but so they've discussed how they're going to make this happen, but they have not gotten on the flight yet.
Right.
Right. Okay.
She hops into his dream, drives an elevator down into a house where she sees him just talking to his wife. And
just having a moment.
Yeah. You know how to find me. You said you had a dream we'd grow old together. We can. But then she sees Ariadne and he's like, the fuck? And so he rides the elevator back up, but now he's just taking her on a tour through his mind.
These are the remnants of the horror movie that it could have been.
Yeah, you're right. And it is a horror moment when she
all snaps. Of the ones with, I mean, sometimes it's like a spy action moment, but mostly it's horror.
And what she realizes is you're not trying to keep her out. You're trying to keep her alive. And these are moments I regret that I have to change. Mm-hmm. And down at the basement level of the elevator is where he's stored his most horrifying memory. And so she sneaks into the elevator and goes to see it. And it is the hotel room with the Gone Girl staged crime scene. Mm-hmm. And his wife appearing maybe on the ledge of another building or just their own hotel suite that wraps all the way around, that either by design is shot sloppily so that you don't understand it.
Right. Or it's a dream.
It's in a dream and it's supposed to be weird like that. Yeah. And she says, I filed a letter with our attorney saying that I'm afraid for my life, that you're going to kill me. We have to die. We'll have to be back with our kids. But what the audience doesn't know yet is that she's been consumed with the idea that she's still in a dream.
And that she needs to kill herself.
do we know that that's why she wants to kill herself right now? Or is
he incepted the idea so that she would kill herself to get out of limbo and to come back up to reality. But then they woke up in reality and she still had the incepted feeling of, no, this isn't reality. I need to kill myself.
Yeah, but
so she killed herself inside of reality.
But that specifically that he incepted her with that idea is like a big reveal for the final 15 minutes of the movie. It doesn't happen here.
What do you mean here?
At this moment in the movie where Ariadne is watching this scene play out.
All we find out here is that he's been keeping himself and her in a perpetual mind prison. That's all we find out here. Is that the reason why he can't keep her out of other people's shit is because he's purposely keeping her in his head.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we find out here.
But we find out that the hotel room is the most significant thing. And he says, that's only one thing you need to know about me. Don't ever go to that room. And she immediately goes and sees this hotel room scene.
But then again, she sees it. I think she even sees it in full. But then comes up and just has the thing that I just said. That's it. That's all she knows is that what I already said.
They wake up and the other people just happen to walk in right there. And
it's not weird that you two are plugged in together alone, but
yeah.
Hey guys.
They're just like,
taking a little nap.
It's time. Maurice Fisher just died in Sydney. So let's all hop onto the plane.
Again, the timing. Okay. It's also, right when we were supposed to go, ready to go. And this is one of those times where he's going to fly to America.
And they all get into this first class cabin together. Cillian Murphy doesn't recognize his biggest competitor is sitting right across from him.
Yeah, right.
But DiCaprio spikes Cillian Murphy's drink, puts him to sleep, and they all get up their equipment and set up the dream thing and go into the first dream where it's raining.
That's because the chemist has to pee.
Yeah, Yusuf didn't go to... Yusuf, come on.
Okay.
But it's raining. They all get into the taxi and they kidnap Cillian Murphy in the taxi. And I like how he's just like, oh, great. You're kidnapping me.
This is why I have security usually.
I'm insured for $10 million. Take my wallet, take all my cash. You might as well just drop me off at the next thing. And they're like, nope. But then what's this? A fucking freight train goes through the middle of the streets and then all these people are shooting at him. It's crazy.
And it's just not expected. What's the intel here?
The train thing is Leo's fault. All the people shooting at them are Fisher's fault, or Fisher's been trained on what to do. I guess one of the things that Cobb could have been doing when he was on the right side of the law is he would have been doing this kind of training for Fisher. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But also we're still just taking his word for it that any of this isn't his fault.
I always assumed it was all his fault.
Yeah.
But I think the movie gives you evidence it's not just that. It's that Fisher knew Fisher had the training, so he's got military people who are protecting him in his dream. His subconscious is militarized.
Who's he?
Fisher, Cillian Murphy.
So he should have known that he's already been trained to not be invaded in his brain space. Okay, I'm back. Got it.
One of the things that makes it hard is that it doesn't have to be your dream for people to steal your thoughts and for you to like fill your projections.
And for you to wake up there.
Yeah.
You're just on a mission. This is exhausting. When do they sleep? Shit.
And what do they feel like when they wake up? How groggy do you have to be then?
I guess I'm never sleepy in a dream. So maybe they're always just,
Oh, that's what you
refreshed.
meant. Oh, in the dream, they're just awake for a week or for 10 months?
No, I mean, if it's this much action every time you go to sleep, when do you rest?
Yeah, good point.
You're not supposed to wake up and remember your dreams. You're especially not supposed to wake up and remember the dream within the dream within the dream you had.
And does I guess we know it doesn't have to be a shared dream for you to be able to control it. As long as you plug into the machine, you can control it.
But if they can control it the whole time, why aren't they winning?
That I don't know. I don't get that.
They should not have the moment where Eames just says, think bigger and uses a bigger gun. Because if think big, then the sky's the limit. Think bigger is you're dead. Snap my fingers. Fucking, what are you doing?
Yeah, you just have the Neo in the Matrix moment.
He's got this heist idea in his head. So there's these little parts where he's trying to be funny because he thinks they need like the Brad Pitt, Clooney, like back and forth moments. And it's like, this is a serious movie. This is not a funny movie. And I don't find any of these Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, huh. And we're supposed to be like, ha ha. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
Get back to what we're doing.
Good work, Ian. Good idea, Eames. Your sarcasm, Arthur, is appreciated as always.
Just a fucking action turducken is not ever going to be something I want. I'm barely able to follow the action, let alone Nolan's action in one movie, and now and then you give me a snow movie. Anyone who knows me knows I fucking hate snow.
It's true.
And they put it 3 levels fucking down. You know the second thing I hate most? Sand. And now we wake up at a fucking beach? Ew.
How do you feel about rain?
You
hate it. You stay up all night because of it.
God, last night was hard.
I know. How have we gotten here, Laci?
I don't know. I'm getting worse.
It thunders in the middle of the night and both of us are like, uh-oh.
Because we're worried Sully's going to get upset. And we know if it's lightning and thundering too close, we have to go get the older kid and move them into our room because we have something over us that protects us from trees and they do not. And I don't feel like doing that.
And also, yeah, if you spit on our house, our power will go out.
That's the other thing.
So, all right.
Now I'm anxious because of that.
All the people are shooting at them. They make it into this garage, and Cobb starts yelling at Arthur, "This was your job. You should have." And he is like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. My intel should have prepared me to know that his subconscious would be militarized." And he screams, "It was your responsibility." And then he screams, "We are not prepared for this," which is also something Matthew McConaughey says in Interstellar. And I realize this is Nolan's biggest fear: is just being in a situation that you're not prepared for.
Well, spending a whole bunch of a production company's money and not having been prepared enough to make sure you're going to pull it off. Like just dealing with an unknown anything while there's so many pieces going into making this whole. And for someone he you know how hard it must be for him to rely on anyone? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he needs a bunch of him just running around. Like if you heavily rely on this one producer and he lets you down even one time, it's like you don't understand.
And that
this is me not being able to trust you with anything now, and me being able to sleep. I can't sleep.
And when that producer's literally your wife, and you yell at her. You fucked up, Emma. You were supposed to. Maybe she's the one who yells at people. I bet that's what it is. Is he's just like, oh, what a disappointment.
Okay.
Saito was shot. And they're like, well, that's fine. He'll just wake up back in the real world. No, the sedatives mean no. He'll go to limbo. Limbo? What's limbo? Unconstructed dream space.
On a plane. We could have had this talk. This is not the time. At least 2 of you knew of this.
But no, they didn't know of this. This is all being invented as they go. It's a dream that he's writing as it goes. And this is the stuff that turns people off about the movie is literally that actually, what's limbo? Unconstructed dream space. There was a whole South Park episode about it where they'd say something and then everybody would be like, make like, ooh.
And what does that even mean? That's a stupid thing. That's a stupid phrase, especially the fact that it's constructed and especially the fact that you and your wife built everyone's unconstructed. What are you talking about?
That's the one that trips me up. So it's limbo's.
You know
it's
what,
everyone's limbo.
Maybe it's because by the time they get down to that level, he's the only one left to dream. They have to go to they're finally in his dream where they're not supposed to any other time. But he needs to go down one more because Saito unintentionally went there. So he's like, fuck it, I got to go get him.
But here's my question.
Okay. Why is he in Leo's?
You can kill yourself and get out of limbo. Right? Because that's how they all get out of it. So what isn't it just, hey, if you die and you end up in limbo, kill yourself right away. And the answer that I made up for myself is if you die and end up in limbo, you're not going to know that you're in limbo. Like
that's what I thought too. But how did they end up figuring it out?
DiCaprio and Ariadne choose to go there. They hook themselves up to the machine and go into limbo.
Oh, right.
That's why they're
the only ones that know.
I think that's it.
But how does he know what would happen to someone who does not intentionally go there? How is he so sure that that's where anyone that dies here will go?
I don't know.
Fuck's sake.
All right. So we got to go down. We got to go one level down because we'll have more time there.
Great.
First, they interrogate Cillian Murphy. Tell us the combination of your father's safe. I don't know it. Oh, well. All right.
Just give us any numbers that come to your mind. Fucking 6,
7,
6, 5,
6969 429.
Mine would be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah. Then they pull in Tom Berenger, who's Tom Hardy, actually. And he's like, your father loved you, Robert. I'm sorry. Oh, maybe you do know the numbers to the safe. And he's like, no, I don't, Uncle Peter. Okay. He loved you, Robert, just in his own way.
No, he didn't. Do you know what he said to me? He said disappointed.
I couldn't make it out any of the words except disappointed. And
he kept swatting at my photo that I put there. I mean, he was swatting at the nurse and everything else, but he definitely wanted to break my photo. And of course, she needs to be on. Sorry, now there's another scene of the hotel scene, and I think this might be the first time we see the full thing. So excuse me talking out of my ass earlier, but obviously she needs to be wrapped around the building like this because he needs to not be able to get to her. There's not enough time for him to run around, and he can't jump forward.
Yeah, and that's itself a dream thing. It's just the obstacle I'm not going to be able to get past. The thing I can't get to. I have to get to a plane.
My son is running toward the street, and I cannot catch him. I just need to catch him. And then at some point, all I start doing is going, I hope I'm dreaming. I hope I'm dreaming. And then I wake up, and I'm so relieved.
So he explains, I went to Limbo with Mal. We were having fun, experimenting, building stuff. We spent so much time together, we pretty much forgot that we're in a dream.
Oh, so this is him and his wife getting too deep on a project, and they're both not even paying attention to their kids.
It's the danger of working with your spouse, as Laci and I have found whenever we went to conferences and we were having too much fun working.
Your kids get sick at home.
Yeah, we get a call from the babysitter.
We get pulled out of our reality.
Like, I have a kid? Oh, fuck.
I don't even like when people ask me about my kids when I'm away.
Yeah.
Like, nope.
But this is the shit I'm really into. Any story where I'm alive so long that I forgot who I used to be.
Yes.
Literally forgot. Down in Limbo, getting to build whatever we want. Bunch of boring buildings.
Sounds boring as fuck. Look at this skyline that looks like the same skyline over and over and over again. And then what was he saying? Like, well, me and Ma always wanted to live in a house, but we much more like this office building. What was he talking about?
The building, but we were so in love with a building like this, like a 60-story Exxon skyscraper.
We love it. Give me beige ceilings, and you can move the little squares, and then there's a drop ceiling.
Look, I read there's tons of stuff about the production design and how they worked with architects, and all this means something, and I just thought boring.
Well, look at what we're seeing across the street in this dream, and I wouldn't have noticed except for you stopped it. These look like little TVs. These don't look like windows. These look like a wall of TVs.
Yeah, but I'm sure this is a real place, though. But
it's a TV place.
It's kind of interesting how a window's kind of like a TV.
Yeah, but the way that... Fine. I'm right. Those are TVs.
So down in Limbo, but Cobb always remembered and Mal had forgotten, or maybe he forgot too, but then he remembered, oh shit, this isn't real.
They started building their own house. They started building real things from their real memories. And maybe that's how he remembered.
Suddenly remembered, oh wait, we have kids. And we've been here a long time and we haven't seen our kids in a long. That's another dream I'll have is
yes, they've grown older.
Or just like, I've always had the dream, like I left my kid at home. I ran to the store. It's taken me a long time to go to the store. Oh, way longer. And then this happens in the movie with Rose Byrne. What was the movie called? Fuck. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Where I know she that happens in the, she leaves her sick daughter at a hotel to go to the store and then goes even further out and then goes, and it was like, how do they know this anxiety I have? And they're showing it to me on screen.
Fuck that. No.
So I needed to figure out how to wake her up, and I did, and we woke up, but it was, we were old souls. We were 50 years older than we had been, but suddenly woke up in these youthful bodies. How do you do something like that? She didn't come back right. She was possessed by an idea, one very simple idea that changed everything, that our world wasn't real, that she needed to wake up to come back to reality. In order to get back home, we had to kill ourselves. We see scenes of her with their children. She's like, you don't think I can know my own children? These aren't my real children. And finally, the night at the hotel suite where she jumps off. And I think they're both very good. I think DiCaprio just reacting to her jumping.
Yes, God, yes.
And just going,
Chilling.
Oh, God.
Stop, Matt. Fuck, yes, it's effective. And they do it twice in the fucking movie. You don't know me at all.
And well, we're not just talking to each other.
You don't know our audience at all.
Ariadne is like, Cobb, Dom Cobb. I here for you. You were valid. You are not responsible for the idea. Literally the thing that I'm going to learn later.
Right. It is a therapist just talking to him. That's the new job, is someone going into someone's psyche to therapize them out of psychosis.
You are not responsible for the idea that destroyed her. You need to forgive yourself, but you're also going to need to confront her. So 3 action items, okay? Okay. But you don't have to do it alone. Anyway, the assailants... So
you know a lot for being an architect.
It's just this new generation, you know? They're much more in touch with their feelings.
Also, this woman's supposed to be hot as shit, and she looks like an alien. She looks like a dream alien. Like a hot person that doesn't exist.
I believe this is Tallulah Riley.
You're fake, Tallulah.
I just know I know the name because her name is Tallulah. Tallulah Riley. Tallulah is a city in North Louisiana. Tallulah. They go to the second level where they're going to run the scheme of Mr. Charles. The second dream is a nice hotel. So
a lot of leftovers.
The show The Leftovers. Yes.
Using of hotel. Shit. I had another example. Damn.
Australia.
Yes, that was it.
No, I always group them together. Yeah. And The Leftovers also has an ending that you can read one of 2 ways.
Which I fucking love. That's the best example of me like, yeah, ending.
But one where you and I
have very different opinions.
Very different.
And that's fine. That doesn't bother me. So I guess that's a great example of like, this was done correctly.
Without spoiling it, it's an ambiguous ending and you can read it a number of ways.
Which are polar opposite from each other and equally could be right.
Yes. And there's not going to be an answer. They're just supported by the evidence of what kind of story you think you were watching. So
and how smart you are.
In this hotel bar, DiCaprio goes up to Cillian Murphy and he's like, my name is Mr. Charles and you're in a dream, sir. Don't you see? Pay attention to the way the gravity's all fucked up and the rain outside is starting and stopping. He's like, oh my God, we are in a dream. Okay. And he's like, I'm the head of your security detail down here. So come with me. We got to guard you against anybody who's going to try to steal your shit.
Right now I've been activated because someone is trying to invade your dream, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not always experiencing this, but you've had years of training and this is what we've trained for. Right?
Yeah. But this is also just classic con artist movie of I get your confidence by telling you I'm the one protecting you from the thing I am doing to you. And it would work on me.
Oh, fuck yeah. I would follow that man into a river.
The projections are starting to look at, hey, there's foreign invaders in this dream. This isn't right. And Arthur is explaining this to Ariadne as they're sitting out, very, very attractive people out in the hotel lobby. And he's like, the projections, they know they're looking for the dreamer. Here, quick, give me a kiss. And she does. And it is the most clinical kiss in movie history. Least romantic kiss.
I thought it was sweet.
It is sweet because
of her face after.
Yes. And she's like, they're still looking at us. And he's like, yeah, it was worth a shot. And she's like, Arthur.
Misdirect though. Like why do that and not have any other touching moment at all? This is the biggest evidence that this is not a dream. I mean, his dream is like, how is it that we are following stuff outside of his consciousness?
Of his subconscious.
Why is he thinking of stuff happening in the other room?
Because they each represent, you could get all Freudian. He's the this, she's the that. She's the version of him that this, he's the version of him that.
Fine.
He's his desire. He's his like work self. She's his romantic self. I don't know. There's ways you watch those videos.
I won't do it.
Yeah, me neither.
All right.
So they bring Cillian up to the hotel room, and they're like, "Sir, kidnappers are planning to put you into another dream to crack into your father's safe, including this guy." And they pull Tom Berenger in, and he's like, "I'm sorry, Robert. I've been working for the competition." And he's like, "Uncle Peter, no, oh man." And DiCaprio's like, "He's lying. We need to go into his dream." Blah blah blah. And they all hook up to the thing and go into the dream. Okay. And even Elliot Page is like, "Wait, I'm confused. Whose subconscious are we going into?"
And what does he say?
Whose subconscious are we going into? And they're going into Eames's subconscious. No, they're going into Fisher's subconscious, but they're telling him they're going into Tom Berenger's subconscious, who's not Tom Berenger. He's Eames.
Because they don't have access to that actual man.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's right.
And where what I don't know is how they choose whose subconscious they're going into. And I don't think it matters. I just think it has to logistically work. Like, well, it can't be someone that needs to stay awake to watch us sleeping on the other level. So as we get lower and lower, we lose a team member every time because someone has to stay awake. It's the stewardess at the in reality, and then they lose a character each time.
Yeah.
So
no, it is Tom Hardy's dream that they go into because he's the one that they put the headphones on.
Right. Only the person who's dreaming needs the music cue.
Yeah. And so now the snow level, and I've labeled this slide. Laci's going to hate this.
Oh, yeah.
And she did.
I did.
And I think that the snow part is the least.
It's just, what are you doing? Eames, what are you doing? Why is this what you're dreaming about, you fucking nerd?
Why couldn't you have dreamed of the beach? They ask. But that also would have sucked.
Yeah, they're running out of places. Maybe they did a survey of like, what are the places most people, the landscapes people randomly wake up in their dreams. Mine's always the car in school.
Mine's alligators.
You wake up in an alligator?
I dream about alligators so often. I dream I'm in a river all the time.
In a river. And are you swimming in the river? Are you standing still? Is it taking you with it?
All kinds of different ways.
Oh.
Yeah. Lots of times I'm floating in a river.
Happily?
No.
Okay.
I'm always aware. Oh fuck! I bet there's alligators.
Okay, but is it a drowning dream or is it I'm being taken in a direction I don't want to go?
It's an alligator dream.
It's you're being pulled along in this life and not in charge of your own.
It's never drowning. It's always oh shit. There's an alligator.
Okay, and I'm being pulled toward it somehow.
Yeah.
At the end, it's just an open alligator's mouth, and you're being sucked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda. And there's usually a lot of alligators, and they're bigger than alligators. So they're really crocodiles, but in my dream they're alligators.
Are they nice and they talk and they will sing you a little song? Okay.
And I do have dreams about snakes too, but mostly alligators. And I say this all the time to people, and I think they think I'm joking. And no, I think at least half of my dreams are about alligators.
I've never thought you were joking.
Why would I joke about
that? Yeah.
So it's a snow level. It's on Her Majesty's Secret Service, but I think it's the least inspired action sequence. But it all coalesces with they have to get into the fucking ice fortress, but up at the top level, Yusuf is driving the van backwards. Well, no, first he gets chased by the projections, and the van topples over. That's where they lose gravity for the first time, and they lose gravity in the hotel, and it rules. And a big thing Nolan said he wanted to do was when he saw 2001: A Space Odyssey and the spaceship centrifuge, it spins and spins around, and that gives people the ability to walk in space. And he's like, I want to use that in a movie.
Well, you're using the opposite of that, but okay.
But just, I'd love to play with gravity. Now the wall is the ground. Now I can walk on the wall. Wow. Okay. And then that turns into an action sequence where each level, the things reverberate with each other, and they have to go break into the ice fortress. And that is where Cillian Murphy will confront his father. And so they're about to get there, but oh fuck, it's Mal. Mal has arrived, and he's like, shoot her, DiCaprio. And he's like, I can't. What if she's real? And she's like, what are you talking about? And then they shoot her, but not before she shoots Fischer. Fischer is dead. Is he not dead? No, he's dead. Yes, but they can revive him with a clear.
I don't know. This movie's impossible.
And so they all like, well, fuck, he's dead. And DiCaprio's
they can't revive him. He has to go get him. The only way to save the guy that dies this deep and that's why DiCaprio's like, fuck, I gotta go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. There is no clear.
But they do say defibrillator at some time. That's the kick.
Yeah.
Defibrillator's the kick.
DiCaprio says like, all right, the mission's failed. And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, that's that. We can't do it. And Tom Hardy's just like, well, not my kids I want to get back to. It's just a job for him.
Yeah.
But Ariadne is like, no. We can go down into Limbo, Cobb and I, and we'll go find Fischer.
Yeah, it's not because I'm a therapist or anything. It's because I just really like you as a person.
Yeah.
And I'm along for this ride. Oh, yeah, it's a dream. She's a therapist. Fuck.
Or young artist realizing I'm so enthralled by the creative process. I cannot.
Therapist, Matt.
So Fischer is dead
or
and in
hospice.
Limbo.
She's like helping him cross over.
Dr. Sleep. That's what that's about. Did you know that? Danny Torrance, when he grows up, he uses The Shining. Well, I'll tell you. He grows up to, this is the premise of the thing.
It's very boring to describe the premise of a movie. It just is boring to describe a dream. So don't. The experience is what's interesting.
I really want to, though.
Please move on. We're finally at the lowest level.
Gotta go down to Limbo. So they get down to Limbo, but they do it the old-fashioned way by hooking tubes up to their arms. And they wake up in the ocean with the crumbling shit. And this now is where the Hans Zimmer score is going nuts. And we hear the famous boom, which was in the trailer. And when we saw that trailer, I was like, holy fuck.
Not an ominous boom.
And buildings are crumbling into the ocean. What's that shit about? And Ariadne's like, this is your world? It was. It's where she'll be. And it's just lines and lines of symmetrical, huge buildings.
Decaying. His mind is decaying.
Yes. If you have seen Hellraiser, Hellbound 2, Hellraiser 2, Kirsty goes into hell, and hell kind of looks a little bit like this. Like lines and lines of symmetrical shit.
Just
like this.
fucked up teeth.
Yeah. Well, I guess, hell as a maze, that's kind of an old idea. It's like 20 years old at least.
Well, and the idea of descending into hell through the layers, that's all this is.
Right. You're right. So we built for years. Then we started on our memories. And now Hans Zimmer's the main piece of music.
I gotta say, 50 years? Not that fucking long, Leo. I'm just saying 50 years isn't that long. I mean, like, if it could be forever, 50 isn't really a big number.
It has to be a plausible enough.
I guess it is a long time to be with just one other person.
But it has to be an amount of time where you could conceive.
Yeah,
I could come back from that. I couldn't come back from. There's another Stephen King story, The Jaunt. I can't spoil this for you, but that ends with somebody getting trapped in the infinite, and it will freak you the fuck out.
Okay,
you should read that story.
I'll read it.
It's great. It's a short story. It's not a novel.
Okay, just a quick jaunt.
It's a quick jaunt. It is his best short story.
Okay.
Hans Zimmer's music is, I haven't really talked about it, but it is one of the huge things that makes me so emotionally connected to this movie. It's so extraordinary, especially the final track on the soundtrack is called Time. It's the and now it's becoming more and more prominent, and I'm getting more like my heart's racing.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is like I can't really intellectualize why I feel so powerfully about all of this. But it is kind of like getting attached to a song where you feel like that song's about me.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We're getting to the heart of the matter here. We're really going to work out our shit. Something's about to be released or I'm going to die.
And they go to the building. We always wanted a building like this.
Why? Is this a fucking realty ad in the middle of the movie?
We'll find Mal here, no problem. But there's something you should know about me. An idea is like a virus, resilient, highly contagious.
How is that something about you?
And she's like, I feel like you've said this to me already, but okay. The smallest seed of an idea can grow. It can grow to define or destroy you. And then they get to Mal, and she overhears this, and she says, the smallest idea, such as your world, is not real. A simple little thought that changes everything. So certain of your world, of what's real. This is the part where the movie most openly suggests everything you've been watching has not been real. That he is lost in his own subconscious.
Right. She makes her best point of why is everything persecuting you?
No creeping doubts, no feeling persecuted, Dom, chased around the world by anonymous corporations and police forces. That was really the thing that on like the fifth time I watched the movie, like, oh, that's why everything seemed so weird.
Yeah.
In the scenes in the real world. That's why suddenly the COBOL engineering's found me. Oh no.
And that's also why I can't really totally always remember what is the top layer. I start to because it all feels dreamlike the whole time. If any of this is a dream, it all feels like a stupid action movie, some kind of thing I've seen before, some sort of derivative action place. That's why I can't ever place the top level. There's no top level. That's just regular shitty life.
And it's by design, but because of that, you will feel unmoored. And that too is, you should feel unmoored, but that is why it is kind of hard to attach yourself to this movie.
Yeah.
And it requires multiple viewings.
Okay. Fucking cheat code. It's like you're cheating.
But that happens with music too. You listen to it repeatedly and it like suddenly things unlock for it.
You can do that in the background. You can do that not against your will.
Yeah.
This is again, I go to watch a movie to have absorbed a movie. When I realize I needed to do it 2 or 3 more times, I feel lied to. You need to tell me the runtime of this movie is 14 hours if it's going to take me this many times.
That's a good point. If it requires multiple viewings, it should disclose
be said,
that.
Yes. Bring a pen and paper or watch twice.
So she asks, you don't have any creeping doubts that you're not in a dream, or you don't even know where you are, but you know that I'm real. You can talk to me. Our children are real. This is all down here, but you say you know it's not real. What do you believe? What do you feel? And what he says is, I feel guilt. She's like, why? Because I did this to you. Inception, I did that to you. You locked away in your little dollhouse in a safe.
Your totem,
because you didn't want to remember, oh, fuck, the real world exists. But then I went and found the totem, and I guess I took it out at the dinner table. Like, what about this? So
I guess as a husband and wife team, they're constantly going back and forth on like who's trying to pull them back toward their family life. Like we need to take a break. We need to not hop to another project right away, but they maybe take turns on that and who's getting lost in the project the most and needs to be pulled back to the surface.
In doing this, in infecting her mind with the idea that Limbo is not real, he inadvertently infected her at every level, or at least that's what we are shown right here. And I find it so haunting, them waking up in their like sun-drenched home. It feels like, we took a nap and we woke up at like 7:30 in the PM, and we're groggy and like, what's going on? Fucking what time is it? Are our kids alive? And she couldn't. Yeah,
maybe don't do experimental dream shit while your kids are home.
Yeah, not good parents.
It's like they're like microdosing.
It really is. It is like a drug using couple. Mm-hmm. And she's like, she's playing this like, you did this to me. Oh my God, I'm so devastated to learn this, but you can make it up to me by just living down here forever with me.
That's so interesting, Mal, because that's literally the only thing you ever say to me, even though you're pretending to have new information here. So I'm going to choose to believe that you are still a projection of my mind. You are not real, because the real Mal would be acting different, having now had new information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's he explains
what he says,
that. Yeah. I can't imagine the real
I guess I should
you did
myself.
Yes, no.
Okay.
Only to get up one layer.
Right.
And he's like, I'll stay with you, or if I stay with you, will you give me Fischer? And she's like, yeah. And Ariadne's like, no, you can't. He's like, I'm just lying to her. It's fine. Go get him.
He's not lying, because he does want to give Fischer. He's going to stay. He needs to stay. He has to, because he has to go get Saito or whatever.
Saito, yeah, but not staying for her. So she goes and gets Fischer, and then they jump off the thing, and it gives them the kick to wake up one level up. Yeah, he says, by now Saito will be dead. So this whole thing of what's the big deal if they die and go to Limbo? They're still going to eventually wake up in the real world, because there is a timer. They will be woken up. But the thing is, if they stay in Limbo, they'll wake up insane. Right. Yeah. They won't remember who they are. So we got to get to him before he's been here that long.
It looks like he's been here a minute.
It looks like he's been here, I don't know, 20 years.
But I guess if you have a shepherd to be like, so here's what's going on.
Yeah.
You're going to wake up, it's going to be weird, but like, that's the real.
Like when you take hallucinogens and you have somebody to be there for you. Mm-hmm. So Fischer wakes up in the back at the ice fortress, and they're like, go on, go in that vault, see what's in there. Go confront your father. And he goes.
Even this is like Citizen Caine.
How so?
Rosebud. Isn't it like a deathbed whisper that drives the entire movie, and it's just a guy that's like wants to succeed, but he's got this dad thing.
That's a good point. And that's
doesn't it happen at a bedside like this?
Charles Foster Kane is dying in his bed, drops the snow, says Rosebud drops the snow globe.
Disappointed.
But yeah, that is... Cillian Murphy goes in, and the guy's like, disappointed. I know, Dad, you're disappointed.
It just makes sense that even this is a derivative thing in a movie.
That's what I was getting to, is like... In all of this, that's sort of the only way we can conceive of things like this, is big emotional.
It would be sad, like if you found your pinwheel.
Yeah, and like he saved your pinwheel. Who gives a fuck?
Because the same memory that you had that meant so much to you was the same memory that meant so much to him, and you both proved it in two different ways, unattached, without communicating it. You have this picture of you blowing it, and he has it in a safe.
Yeah,
and he saved it this whole time, and look how old he is. He's so old.
And even if that were true, and I like that all this is fake, they're staging this for him.
Yeah. But what a nice thing to do for this man.
It is a nice thing, but I'm saying it still wouldn't mean anything.
What do you mean? To who?
Because they still were not close. They still did not have a real relationship.
That's
Just
true.
because he valued you as a child and thought that was a nice memory that day that you blew the pinwheel. Oh, wow. Okay. Still didn't take away the fact that you said, your mother's dead. I don't think we ever need to talk about this.
True.
But yeah, I was disappointed. No, disappointed that you tried. And then the music staying. Cillian Murphy's just devastated. He's so fucking good here. And it is such a rote plot, and it's off-putting because it's like feeling bad for Kendall Roy. Like, oh, I'm not going to be a business success like my dad. But the fucking actors. And Pete Postlethwaite is great too. And the music, and it's all so fucking real.
And that this is supposed to be the fake part of the movie. I mean, like, you're not so, it's amazing that they even like make you care about his story.
Yes. Like
his fake story.
Yeah. Like if you watched like a Hallmark Christmas movie and by the end you're like, this is working on me. Oh my God, come on.
Yeah. You're like, you even told me what you were going to do. And me watching it feels like I didn't get told first.
Yes.
Because you can tell me what you're going to do, but I don't understand how you're going to do it.
One thing about the pinwheel. I know that the pinwheel is in that picture, but Nolan doesn't put a fine point on it. And so just him seeing the pinwheel, it's all in Cillian Murphy's face. And you immediately understand what it means.
I know why, but yeah, I can see how other people like you sitting there wouldn't know.
So now everyone's waking up back in, well, they're at least waking up in the first dream. But down in Limbo, Dom.
Does that airplane even make sense? Is that really what first class looks like? It just, everyone's got like
nice
a little lounge chair. I know, but maybe even that's weird. We don't know. We've never been in such a place.
Idea.
Hot towel? Papers? Paperwork?
Somebody should give us a fucking hot towel right now at the end of this recording.
It would just get cold.
Now, to finish up the mall thing, she's talking to him and he says, she says, you said you dreamed we would grow old together. And he's like, but we did. You don't remember. And now we see the same footage of them walking around their amazing world and they're old people. And that's also a thing I find very moving.
Yeah.
I miss you, but we had our time together. I have to let you go. And so he leaves to go find Saito. And he does pretty easily. At least, I don't know. We have no idea how long it takes him. But he washes up on his shore, goes to meet him, and he's like, we were young men together. Now I'm an old man, filled with regret. And they're like Christopher Nolan characters have to do, start finishing each other, setting each other up to say catchphrases that they heard earlier. To convince me to honor our arrangement, to take a leap of faith, yes. But it's all fucking working for me. Come back so we can be young men together again. And he moves his hand over to the gun, and it just cuts. It just cuts, and they wake up on the airplane. And this is one of the Nolan cuts that fucking works like hell for me. It's so quick. DiCaprio wakes up on the plane, looks around at all his teammates, and they're like, yeah, we did that shit. And Ken Watanabe is like, huh, and just sits up and gets the airplane phone. He's like, State Department, Secretary Clinton.
Do that thing rich people can do.
All right, great.
And put a jiffer on it.
They go through customs. Oh my God, it's my passport.
How did Michael Caine know to be waiting for him? Why do you...
One phone call.
It's a Twilight bark. It is
the Twilight bark.
No, it's a thing from The Office.
Yeah, I was thinking that. It's woof. Cobb's going through customs. Oh, the great Michael Gaston from The Leftovers is working the welcome home, Mr. Cobb.
Oh,
holy
true.
shit, it works.
Yeah, you know what? That right there, you know it's not real. No fucking person at the airport's like, welcome home. Why do you know? Why do you know I live here?
Because you arrived from Australia in Los Angeles and you have a U.S. passport. Welcome home to the United States.
You mean you're that guy and the airport's busy like that and you're saying that every fucking schmo that comes through?
Only to Americans, because you love the goddamn U.S. of A.
That man doesn't
this
care.
Guy does.
No, he's the exact... No, there's a reason why he's the Leftovers guy. He doesn't. You shoot your dog.
Why does the
It's a dream.
Why does the guy at the post office always talk to us? Because you got to say something.
He loves me. Joe loves me.
Oh, Joe?
I know so much about Joe. He's an anti-vaxxer.
And again, shocking. And again, it is like he's ascending to heaven, passing by all the people from your life. Oh, remember Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Oh, look, Tom Hardy.
Remember Fisher?
Yeah. Like, does he remember me? I don't remember how I know that person, but I don't know. We went to kindergarten together or something. Michael Caine's here, gives me a handshake, a firm handshake. Welcome home, son.
As if he's been able to touch him for the first time in a very long time. Because even in that office scene, he can't get but halfway to him.
Right. Take you to your house where your evil mother-in-law lives.
Where your kids have faces.
Hey kids, your father's coming home for the first time in 50 years. Maybe wait for him or just be playing outside back.
Be in the exact position. Assume the position.
And before he goes out to see them, he puts his spinny top on the thing, but then he hears his kids. But they're a little older now. They're dressed differently than in the stock footage.
And yet the same stupid dinosaur toys on the fucking table.
So he leaves. He doesn't even bother to finish watching the spinning top.
What does it matter now, baby? This was the reality I wanted to be stuck in.
And then what does the little boy James say? Look what I've been building. We're building a house on a cliff.
He said that?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why is he a fucking creep? What does that mean?
It's the stuff that we've already seen in dreams.
Building Shutter Island. Oh.
And so we just linger with the spinning top.
Who lives in a house on a cliff? There's been a house on a cliff in every fucking dream.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Why are you letting my kids be on a cliff, Marie?
Linger with the spinning top. It's beginning to wobble. Oh, God. But then it stabilizes. And then
you want it to fall,
again.
though, right? We want it to fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
we'll
damn
never know.
solid table.
We'll never know.
All right.
All right.
There's a girl in the next fucking Batman? Who?
I'm so excited.
Oh my God, if it's her.
We get two
No, it's not Anne Hathaway.
back-to-back movies with Hathaway.
No, it's not. What? And she's got nipple?
She plays Catwoman.
Ew! Sacred ground.
What
Ew.
if Catwoman...
I can smell your period. That's how I feel about you. I don't know why.
And then she's in Interstellar, and I think it's my favorite performance
I don't
of
mind
hers
her there.
by far.
I don't mind her there.
And she's in The Odyssey, which we're going to see this week. She plays Penelope,
I don't know what the, great.
wife of Odysseus.
Great.
How many stars you give Inception, Laci?
3.5.
All right.
I don't know, 4. I don't know, man. I'm
have to pick one.
Annoyed. It's so
Listen to your, what do you feel?
my criteria is dumb. Like, but I'm stuck in the kid phase of why I like a movie, and that is I want to watch it over and over again, but not when I have to. Fuck. Why does it look like Batman's holding toilet paper? I give it a 3.75.
Okay. Yeah, this is a 5 for me. This is a movie I watch it at least once a year. I love this movie. It's a flawed movie. I think that you can explain away its flaws and say that, oh, that's by design. But I also think that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be. When we were talking about The Dark Knight last week, I kept thinking these things, all these great points Laci was making about the movie. My initial reaction be like, but Nolan doesn't mean it like that. But it doesn't matter what he means. Like it's when an artist is done, the work is the work. And now you take away what you take away.
Yeah.
But I find the story of Leo and his wife so emotionally powerful. I find him ascending to heaven, him on the plane, so wonderful, and the music is incredible. It's definitely my top. I think it's either my third or fourth favorite Nolan movie. We'll have a more definitive rating at the end.
Thank God.
Ranking at the end. 5 stars for me. Next week, The Dark Knight Rises.
With a stupid bitch.
We'll see what we think of.
Maybe I'll love it.
Anne Hathaway. And hey, we'll get to see our old friend Tom Hardy, but this time with a mask. Fire rises. So that has been 1 Week Rental. We are on Patreon, patreon.com/1 Week Rental for 2 bonus episodes.
Little babies.
Every month. You can follow us on Letterboxd, Matt Stokes 9 and Loadbang Laci. Follow us on all of the social media that you know and love. And my band Rural Route 9 does the music for the show. Please follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your music. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next.
Okay, I love you. Goodbye.